I am sure sports. You know me there, from coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get your sports over here from near and far. Boy, 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 boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here. For the day done, you are gonna love over yourself.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment. Let me know what your thoughts are.
Yo, watch about dog, SK New Earthis, the body out there, Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, we cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocho-Rios, Galtigo Bay, everywhere. I Am Sure Sports, check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like, ha. Yeah, someone on for the food from young, from we there, you need height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.
Yes, greetings and welcome, people. Good afternoon. It is. We are back again. And this is with another great live video, live stream today. And we want you to join us as we get engaged in discussing some local football. But in particular, our focus today will be on the Reggae Boyz. We'll be looking at some late changes to the Reggae Boyz squad, possible changes for the game against the USA and against Canada and against Honduras. We also will be discussing what is the latest on the ticketing arrangement. And if you plan on going to the match, how easy will that be? And what are some of the immediate steps you need to take so you can attend the home game against Canada? Very critical and crucial information we want to share with you where that is concerned, so you can start making your preparations like right now. I want you to be ahead of the game, and so we receive some information that we think will be very beneficial to you knowing. But again, welcome. Always good having you. I know this is a very difficult time of the day for many persons, especially in Jamaica. The persons who watch the show from England, this may be ideal for them. And so we understand that. But, you know, we respect all the different persons in the game. And we're not seeking to compete. You know, we want to complement each other. So sometimes other persons have shows that are scheduled later. And so we try to do our show at a time that allows the viewers to be able to watch all the other channels and give them support where necessary, because we're all in this together. Yeah. So let me begin by sharing with you. Welcome, 1-1. I mean, good to have you as usual. That's a big Liverpool fan right there. You know, they played, as you know, in the EPL yesterday. I think that was and is so far one of the better games in the EPL season, Liverpool versus Manchester City. I thought Liverpool kind of showed you how to stay in a game when you're not playing your best until you start playing better and get a point. And they did that. They demonstrated that yesterday. Yeah, right. So good result for them. Yeah, man. Big up Jason Ferran as well. Good to have you. All right. So let me begin with some news. We're gonna have Donovan Duki also joining us at some point, and Rudolph Speed, and we're going to have several persons from Cavaliers. You know, you can never tell who is going to come on at that time. Big up Coach Menzie at the coach's desk. You need to check him out. I mean, always putting out some great videos and great content. Simon Preston at Reggae Boyz commentary is also one that you can check out his content. In fact, he shared some information today that you may want to hear. You have Ryan LFC, Military Guna. I mean, and these guys, Formula Sport. I mean, all of these guys are doing their work, and they must all be celebrated. This is a new era, and a new day has dawned, and new things are happening. All right, again, thank you for joining, and let us get into what is actually happened. So, big credit to the government of Jamaica that in these difficult times they have given permission basically for the game to be played, as you know. And for spectators, the Jamaica Football Federation requested an allowance for 14,000 spectators at the game, and that has been granted. Now, from where I sit, if you plan on being at the game, you need to start checking right now how you can get the ticket and how it is going to be processed. What do I mean by that? Remember now, you have to be fully vaccinated to attend the game. Fully vaccinated. All right? So they're allowing fully vaccinated. That is the latest. I know that there have been some suggestions about persons with PCR test, but from what I gather, it is really for the vaccinated people. So first, you need to verify that. All right? The vaccinated, I am sure, will be allowed. 14,000. You know what the prices are? There are two separate prices for the grandstand, 7,200, 5,200, I believe. And then there's a separate price as well for the bleachers. There's a 2,200 cost for the bleachers. All right. Now, for you, all of this will be done electronically. So the tickets will not be sold at any ticketing booths or venues like that. It will be electronically, because what is going to happen is that if you purchase a ticket, your information, you'll be given a form that you fill out with your vaccination information. That information is going to be sent to the Ministry of Health, some department there. They are going to have to verify that you are vaccinated. That information is then going to be sent back to the JFF, and then you're approved to go to the game. Because I gather that there is no database that is accessible to, like, the JFF for them to check the people who are vaccinated. It must be done through the Ministry of Health. It's very practical, but it's a very difficult proposition. All right, because maybe it is because people's medical information must be held in strict confidentiality, so it cannot be exposed to sporting organizations or body. So it is through the Ministry of Health that the verification of the vaccination will be done. What that means is that you can't just turn up with a vaccination card at the venue and say, I have a vaccination card. It has to be verified. Remember, there was a major entertainment event earlier in the year, and one of the things that came out from that is that persons were able to get falsified vaccination documentation. And so to avoid that, all persons attending the game must have their vaccination information verified through the Ministry of Health. And then that verification is sent to the JFF. The other issue is that when the game is finished and you're heading back home, you would have to use that same electronic information you have to pass through whatever police checkpoint that is there. All right? Um, so it is it. I don't know. No, I don't know, because maybe this should have been approved, I think, like from at least from last week, so people could start preparing, because now it's a short window very short window for you to get all of these things done to get to the game on Sunday. Because remember, one, you have to purchase your ticket. Two, you'll be given, when you purchase that ticket, you'll be given some information where you need to send your vaccination information to. That information is verified, sent to the GFF, so you're approved. And once you're approved, you can go to the game. That means no one can turn up at the game with any falsified vaccination card. It seemed difficult, but it is impossible. Listen, I am in the same boat, because I am going to try to get my own done in time for the game as well. Because listen, like I said, it is a very difficult scenario. But the government is implementing some very strict restrictions. Is this a GFF's fault? Because they sought approval long ago. It's just been granted. Is someone ought to be blamed? Or is this a result of how we are as a people, that we are not trusted to be honest? And because you're not trusted, more stringent measures must be put in place. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? I am telling you, it is a difficult proposition. As someone is asking, like, this is a very good question. Man, what about foreigners that would want to come and see the match? Ministry of doesn't have these people. That is very true. And this is part of the confusion. If you're coming from overseas, that's a very good question, Jason Ferron. And when Mr. Speed comes on, it's something that I'm going to put to him. So if you come from overseas to watch the game, your vaccination information would not be readily accessible on any local website. So how is that verified? Maybe it is verified because the vaccination or the vaccinated in other jurisdiction is evident on probably a large public database. We don't have that in Jamaica. There's no database that is public for us to access. Maybe for a person from overseas, I'm assuming, maybe that is readily accessible. Or they are believing that no one from overseas who is not part of some delegation, like maybe if you're part of the Canadian delegation, you get access because they're playing against Canada, and these requirements are not necessarily for you, but just for spectators. Maybe if you're part of the delegation, the requirements are different. But from a spectator's perspective, I don't think it is practical for persons from overseas to attend. One, remember, when you get to Jamaica, you have to get a test to come into Jamaica. You have to fill out the Jam COVID form when you're leaving. So I don't know. This is not making any sense for anyone from overseas to attend the game as a spectator, unless you're part of the delegation of the Canadian team, or you're in media where some of these things will not be expected from you because you're overseas media, and all you need is the PCR test proof that you have taken that, probably your vaccination card from overseas. So this is a very tough and delicate situation, but that's a very good question, Jason Ferron. Yeah, wouldn't the information for overseas traveling fans would require right, and I think that's true, Carl Blake, because if you're traveling, when you fill out the Jam COVID form, some of that information is on the form if you're a citizen from overseas and vaccinated. And what that does, it allows our local ministry official to verify that. So that is what I'm saying. There may be something there to verify that, but it's a very, like I said, delicate and tricky situation. Will this be a deterrent to many people attending the game? I think that is very, very, very possible. All right. I am still going. So today, as soon as the ticketing information is out, I'm going to go online, do all that I need to do because I want to be at this game. Just to see, I don't want to hear. I want to see what the vibe is like. I want to see what the attitude is like. I want to see it with my own eyes instead of just hearing reporters reporting stuff. I want to see this. So I'm making every effort to attend and to be there. All right, so that's one bit of breaking news. Some of you, if you checked into, listen, I've seen all the comments. There are so many coming in. I'm going to take them as the show goes on and kind of highlight them and speak to many of the comments because there are some very good points that are being raised right here in the comment section. So thank you again for joining. I mean, really appreciate so many of you coming on so early in the video. It's just 16 minutes and we're already almost up to 50 persons watching. And I know there is a major problem right now with WhatsApp and Instagram and some of the other social media platforms. Major problem all over. So if you're having problems with your WhatsApp and your Instagram, there's a general problem with most with those platforms right now. But thank you. And please remember, hit the like button and let's keep this going. So we'll have Mr. Rudolph Speed joining us, and when he comes on, we're going to ask him some of these questions that we have. All right. I see a next one here about the issue of overseas traveling fans would be how will they get the ticket after having the required COVID documents to enter Jamaica? That's the thing. The tickets are I know that the tickets will be online. So by the end of today, maybe by the end of this video, by Mr. Speed comes on, you will know where you can go to access the tickets for purchase. Because remember, it is electronic and you can purchase a ticket because it's a limited amount. But like I said, I mean, would a person really travel, buy a plane ticket, number one, buy a ticket for the game, number two, you have to do a test to come into Jamaica, do a test to leave Jamaica, fill out it. Would a person really go through? Listen, if a fan does that, that fan is seriously really love the football. I am telling you, because that would be a whole heap of sacrifice. Might have to hold up David and David at the airport right now. Yeah. So Andre Moore saying government should compensate the GFF. Listen, this is part of the issue. Part of the issue is like, who do you blame? Because this approval was sought some time ago. It's just been given. So with the short notice, right? From the short notice, what can the federation do to kind of alleviate some of these things? It's a very tough situation. Very tough situation, I guess. What too much? Well, there, it should not be an issue. No, man, it's not an issue, Jason. What I'm saying, it will be very difficult because that's a good thing. And I'm saying that once the ticket go out, once you go through the regular PCR, you are vaccinated. I am saying that I think the Ministry of Health, because generally when a tourist comes to Jamaica and say they are vaccinated, they have to prove that they are by filling out the jam COVID form. I'm saying as a traveler, once you do that, you will have access to the game. But for the locals, it's a little different. And I think this is because there was a particular event earlier in the summer where it was reported that people turned up with falsified vaccination cards. And so I think they're trying to prevent this because maybe the suspicion is that people will find a way of creating their own cards to have access to the game. And to alleviate that, you know, they are putting in some of these measures. And that is my right. Some of my but Jason Ferran, you should be able to attend the game. I don't think that is the issue once you have your you have been fully vaccinated. That is what is happening. But Mr. Speed is not on yet. Like I said, there are some issues with like WhatsApp and those and some of those platforms. So give him a little time, but he's going to be here and maybe he can answer some of these ticketing information and where we possibly could purchase tickets for the game. But until he gets here, let me ask you the other thing I want to discuss, and some of this has been reported by Simon Preston at Reggae Boyz commentary, who is credible, and Coach Minzy at the coach's desk also reported this. And I mean, I had done a video previously and did suggest to you that Ethan Pinnock, there was a check mark, and people were insisting that if he played this weekend, then he would be a part of the squad. And if you understand how the English system is and some of these coaches, when they have their top players, any excuse that they have to not send them on international duty, they are going to do that. So as it stands now, we are possibly, at least for the USA game, will be without Ethan Pinnock, Liam Moore, Anthony Grant, Ravel Morris, Jamal Lowe. Of course, you know that Blair Turgott was not selected. All right? Now, so that's a major problem, because some of us were thinking about a possible back three. No, we don't have enough people to play a back three. We don't have enough people to play a back two and then have competent, well, not competent, and have, sorry, let me take about that. Not competent, but have substitute on the bench who can come on, at least for the USA game. All right, so that has really left us with Damian Lowe and Mariappa. Javane Brown can play centre back. Now, people are going to say, what about Damian Lowe? All right, so let me explain to you. Not Damian Lowe, Jamal Lowe. All right, so Jamal Lowe is coming, but he can only play in 2 games. All right, this is because of some, from my understanding, and I got this from a source not in Jamaica, but on the other side of the world. And the issue is that what I understand is that the persons on Jamal Lowe's side at his club got the request too late. So when they got the request at the club said, okay, we will release him, but he can only play in 2 games. So I don't know if he wasn't a part of the original plan, why some players would have gotten their request before him. But I know the club got the request for him to play late. And so because of that, they have decided that they will only release him for 2 games. So even if he's on the plane coming and you have seen him, he's only going to play in 2 games. All right. Now, I don't know who is going to take responsibility for that. Is this an exploit by the club, or was it an email situation, or is it a mishap in terms of the person who would be, I think, the team manager, who would be Roy Simpson? Is it that he never sent the request early enough? We don't know. But that is the reason surrounding Jamal Lowe. And like I said, I heard this from sources outside of Jamaica. All right, very credible sources. All right. So that is why he's out. Ethan Pinnock is still nursing an injury, and same thing with Liam Moore. Now that puts us in a very sticky position. Like, who are we going to play? Mariappa or and Lowe, and then who is on the bench to replace them? Especially because we are already weakened in midfield. Now I'll go back to one of my original positions, which is we should have at least had Kevin Stewart for one game, at least one game, to provide some cover. I will also say this, that as bad as Michael Hector has been for Jamaica, oh, how I'd love to see him in this game. Oh, how I'd love to see him in this game. As bad as he has been, I'd love to see Michael Hector in this squad, given all that is happening. Yeah. It could be, sometimes you look at these things, you wonder if because Jamaica is a so-called small football, quote-unquote, small footballing nation, like if this was a Argentinian, would this be the same thing? If this were a player that plays for France, would they be treated the same way? Is this really a matter of us being seen as a small nation that we don't have any clout in the hierarchy of the FIFA and those places? Our vote probably don't affect what happens in European football. So some of these things can be done. Or is it that really the request was sent late? So it's a very very, very challenging situation. Would this be the case of bigger nations? I know some people are going to say, well, maybe the players themselves don't want to come. I don't get that feeling. When you listen, I think sometimes we underestimate how these players really love Jamaica. I've oftentimes hear people outside Jamaica speak, and sometimes I feel like they love Jamaica more than the people who live here. In other words, I've heard so many people speak about Jamaica who don't live in Jamaica, and when you hear them talk, you want to believe that they love Jamaica more than the people who live here. I'm telling you. So these guys, Liam Moore wants to come and play. I'm telling you, Ethan Pinnock wants to come and play. I don't know if you know this, but Ethan Pinnock is related to Naron Nosworthy. If you remember that guy, he's passionate and loves Jamaica. These guys want to play for Jamaica. I know the bad experience that they had in the Panama game, but they want to play. So I don't buy this thing that, boy, maybe because of how and what the coach said, why. No, these things sometimes are just the information. Like, was the request actually sent soon enough? And are some of these clubs really playing hardball on Jamaica because we are a smaller nation? But how many of you would take Michael Hector right now? I think if it is possible, we should call up Hector. He should be one of the persons. If possible, if there's a way to get Kevin Stewart in, I think these two players should at least come in for the USA game. But let me see. I'm going to get to some of the other players, but what about these two players? Should we now call Kaim Paris, Michael Hector, and Kevin Stewart? Coach Millie says Ethan is related to Coach's desk, mom. Yeah, there you go. So there you go. So coaches just know that Ethan Pinot want to be here. That want to be here. Yeah. Right. So these guys really want to represent Jamaica people. So let's not put that in there. It's not that the players did not want to come. I just believe that I think that the request was actually sent late to Jamal Lowe. Like, I think he was not a part of the initial plans, and somehow a letter was sent later than the other letters. So when it got there, the club used that as an excuse to say, okay, we will send him, but only for 2 games. That is what I've deduced from all of this. But I would bring in Hector. I would bring in, people don't laugh at me. I would bring in Hector. I'd bring in Kevin Stewart. And if possible, Kaim Paris. I don't know how easy it would be. Or even Turgot. And there's a Greg Lee. So we have some replacement, at least for the USA game. All right? So what about local players? All right, here's a suggestion. But we don't need a Mattox right now, because the position that Mattox play right now, we have enough players in that area, because the area that we need to fill is the area of defense. Right? So yeah. So I don't know. So let me just I think I have Mr. Speed is going to be joining us, and then we will have Mr. Duki, Donovan Duki, in a while. But Amari Bell, based on what the coach said, the coach did say that Amari Bell, is some personal reasons, he never got into it, so I suspect he's not available for this round of games. So, but in terms of local players, if they opt to go for local players, who are the center backs locally that they would call up? Is a Johnny Talbot available? Is Jamai Topi ready? Or what about Richard King? Out of those 3, would you take all 3, or would you take 2, or would you take 1? And if so, let me hear from your people. Who would you take, or would you prefer to go for a Hector? Yeah, that's what I think, Drastic Seymour, that originally Lowe was not a part of the plan. That's Jamal. Something happened, and then they added him. So his request actually was later, and that could have like given the club an excuse. Yeah. Giving the club an excuse to do that. Yeah. All right, there you go, Jairus. Ladiel Richie is injured, man. Ladiel Richie is in. Listen, people. I'll say this again. Ladiel Richie is a good baller. I mean, he always plays well for Jamaica, but he's injured. If you talk to him, he will tell you that he's not fit enough right now. He's not at his best right now. He will tell you that. Yeah, man. Respect Fresh God. Yeah. There you go. Terragat could be called up. Yeah, I know he's no longer, and Talbot is no longer low. He's not here, but he could be called up as well. But yeah, Hector, somebody said it earlier. The stone that the builder rejected has become what? The chief cornerstone. So we need experience over quality. So some people. So who is the experienced Giovanni? Yeah, you'd get Hector. All right. Fresh God, let me tell you again. I did not say that he's not coming. he's not going to play. He's only going to play in 2 games. Mark my words. He's going to come, but he's only going to play in 2 games. Trust me, 2 games. So no cause for Kevin Stewart to fill the void that we have in midfield, especially because yeah. All right. Blessings, Owen. Blessings, Owen. What you said that Jamar Toppy need to be around the team. All right, that's good. Yeah. Hector should be in the side. You know what I find funny? That Hector has been criticized so much. Like, I think Michael Hector is the most criticized player in the last year of Jamaica's football. So I find it rather interesting that now that we're in a problem, we are calling for him. Yeah, just started playing. But who would you select? Could you go with King? Because really and truly, if you're looking at centre backs, it's either Topi, Talbot, or King. Because Ladale Ritchie is injured. And we don't have any top centre backs playing in the USL. That's the other thing. Eagle Republic, even Hector. Yeah. Whoever said I see that thing, because Instagram is down and WhatsApp is down, so I don't know. Yeah, but if that happen, Kevin Campbell, then we're gonna have a problem. Let me ask this: Is Mariappa and Lowe able to do the job, seeing that they have had experience playing together? Would they? All right, people, remember, once you come on, please hit the like button. Andrew Vanzi, that's a good name, but Andrew Vanzi played some centre back in the JPL, but he's not a centre back, you know. He's actually a D mid. I would have picked him over Aka still. Yeah, but Pinnock is not pulling out Ishmael. Come on, man. Me know Ishmael. I know that you call him paper whatever, but I know you have a challenge with Pinnock, but Pinnock wants to play for Jamaica. Pinnock, listen, people. Pinnock is committed to Jamaica's football. These guys plan and being around. And again, let us be fair. I'm not saying that all of them are like this, but let us be fair. Let us be fair, people. Some of these guys were not called to come and play Nations League. It's not that they didn't want to come, but would it be okay for us? Like, maybe the federation can afford to get them to come and play the Nations League and those games. So maybe that's why. Jordan Scarlett is one who could be calling. So Ishmael, don't say that. Mr. Speed, when you're ready, you let us know, and then Mr. Speed can take some of these questions, especially for those who have interest in going to the match. We can hear what is happening, but it's a very tough situation. One thing I will say that maybe they are trying to measure my words. Maybe this will benefit the thinking of the coach. And let me explain why I say that. Because the coach now gets a next opportunity to use those players that he believes can get the job done. All right? If that don't work out, then I think everybody can look, including the people at the leadership level, can say, listen, you see, you use the player you believe, the players you believe could get it done, they did not. All right? And you are insisting on using them, so we're going to have to make some changes. That's a way to look at this. This could be the pivotal point in our World Cup campaign in terms of coaching and where we go from here. Very interesting 3 games that we're going to have. No, listen, Shatter, like we said earlier, I think based on the requirements to get into the stadium, I think we're not going to go past 12,000 fans, just based on what people have to do to get to the game. I could be wrong, but that is my thought. Yeah, is Wes Harding a better centre back than Michael Hector though? Is Wes Harding a better centre back than Michael Hector? Yeah, like I said, Marlon Nelson. I know that. Listen, I had said it earlier that Ethan Pinnock would not make it. And people are saying, okay, yeah. I knew that he would not. I also said that Liam Moore would not have been there. I know these clubs. If the players have a niggle, these clubs are going to make decisions to keep them. A lot of these clubs just want an excuse. And we have to be honest. Certain nations don't carry any clout when they come on to certain things. We don't carry any clout. We don't carry any clout as a footballing nation when it comes on to certain things. And so Ethan Pinnock, Liam Moore, Jamalo, Anthony Grant, Ravel Morris, these 5 are definitely going to be out for at least the USA game. Let me see if Mr. Speed is ready. Look like he's on his phone. So okay. Yeah. All right. So I wouldn't say deterrent Shatter. What you have to do, you have to be fully vaccinated. One, you have to be fully vaccinated to get into the stadium. That's number 1. Fully vaccinated, right? Electronically, you're going to have to send your vaccination information to the Ministry of Health for them to prove that you are legitimately vaccinated. When that is approved, it is sent to the JFF, some department there, so they can validate that you have been approved by the Ministry of Health, and so you're supposed to be at the game. You understand me? No, but all right. So remember that. All right. So 1-1. 1-1. All right. So Ethan Pinnock did have an injury. Like, he played in the game. All right. Same thing with Liam Moore. Be honest, people. You really think Liam Moore don't want to play for Jamaica? That is, we have to think. Now, I come and play for a country. Let's be real. The country can't really afford to give me anything. I'm at a club. I have a nibble. I'm not coming to play for the country because of the money it affords me. Because whatever they give me, I don't make an issue of it. But the club, what they pay me, is what sustains my life. I want to play for the country, but I have a niggle. The club says, listen, you haven't fully recovered to go on international duty this time around. So we are not going to release you. Why would I then, knowing that I have a niggle, why would I then say to the club, no, release me at the expense of losing my contract there? I'm saying that it's 2 ways we have to look at it. It's a man's livelihood, but I don't want to question these guys' desire, because listen, I know people who talk to some of the footballers out of England, who talk to Jamal Lowe. These people want to play in Jamaica. They want to come and enjoy Jamaica, not just play football. Some of these guys want to do things in Jamaica to develop communities. Mikel Antonio tells you that he comes to Jamaica regularly with his family. Right? So, yeah, man, Roof and Antonio, those guys are coming, man. Those guys are coming. So, Roof, Antonio, all the other, I just Coach Minzy shared with us that Daniel Johnson is also out. So, if he could come on, Coach Minzy, come and share with us now what is happening there. What is happening with DJ? Because I didn't hear the DJ news. Yeah, the players are committed, man. We must stop questioning the commitment of the players. Listen, let's be honest. You hear reports of how some of these guys, what the experience is, how some of the experiences that they have, you know, are not good experiences, you know. You have heard that players have had to pay some of their own stuff. You think a man going to take up his money and do that? When they go back, they have to pay? Come on, man. Remember that our local players were negotiating for 7,000 US. Or they said that if we don't get 7,000 US, we are not going to play. And next man says, okay, I'll come and play if you can't pay me. And then we are going to say the man who says he will come and play for nothing is less committed than the man who was saying that if he don't get 7,000, he's not going to play. So let's not make it about that. Let's not make it about that. The thing has passed that. I think it has passed that. And from what we have seen, look at a Ravel Morrison. You know how long and all that Ravel had to do to play for Jamaica? People, I was part of the Anthony Grant situation. And you can ask even Cataract, who was instrumental in it. This guy was willing to buy his own ticket to travel to Japan. Just to be there. He was willing to buy his own ticket, do everything. Some of these guys go through the whole process of paying for their documentation. And it's not because they want to come to Jamaica on vacation. It's because they want to play for the... So let us come off this thing about the players are not committed to the team. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna get him... You understand me? A man... Listen, if a man get 10,000 pounds a week, and the club says, listen, you're injured. The medical report says he's injured. And he's getting the medical, right? Because it is not like the club is faking it. FIFA stipulate they must release the players. So the club will have to provide medical evidence that it is on medical merit that the player is not going to be available. All right? So he may have sustained that, he may have re-aggravated the injury after the game. So we can't I mean, I like it, brother. Understand, I don't want to tariff on that. But we have to give the players credit, brethren. Give them some credit. You see, this is again a club thing with DJ, right? And maybe the federation need to call. Maybe FIFA need to step in. Or CONCACAF need to step in. When they have nothing else to say, so don't mind them. Yeah, man. Yeah, so watch this. Remember, let me say this again. I know for a fact that if I'm running Jamaica's football, follow me, and I'm going to play St. Kitts in a nothing match, and I'm not getting any money, I'm not going to, because the amount of money that it's going to cost me to get Mikel Antonio to come and play against St. Kitts, it don't make no sense when it's not World Cup qualifying. Or let me not use St. Kitts. Let's use Cayman Islands. Am I going to really call Ethan Pinnock, Liam Moore, all of these guys to come and play against the Cayman Islands when I don't have a Gold Cup preparing them for? I wouldn't do that. Give some little youngsters a chance. And me save myself some money for when we really need them. And that to me is not a matter of commitment. All right, there you go. Mr. Speed. Oh, it look like you ready? Well, let's see you again. Mr. Speed?
You see him? Just push me see him.
I'm letting you one.
I'm so when like him.
Mr. Speed.
And then he come back the man, but done with him.
Mr. Speed.
Don't you can't tell me nothing again.
I mean like you do that.
Mr. Speed look like him a talk about when I'm footballer, then we give problems. Are you me a talk to you know? Actually, he will talk to somebody. People, he will talk to somebody else. What do you think we should do? Eavesdrop on him conversation and hear him go on with? Should we do that? Let me get Coach busy again. Yeah, different era of injury. The man is injured, man. Yeah, man. The man. Let's forget about that. All right. I think Mr. Speed don't rebuke it. We're rebuking over there. Mr. Speed.
Then it's me care about the Premier League, but
Mr. Speed.
when we come up Premier League, I come become better than.
You know, hear what going on now? See people can get themselves in a... No, shut up, just joking. I wouldn't do that. Let me call and tell him that. Him on the program. Yeah. Yeah, we hear the conversation, you know, so... All right, you ready for us now? You ready for us?
You hearing me?
Yeah, man. Are you hearing me?
Well, you hearing me, Miss?
Yeah, man. I am hearing you. Are you hearing? Are you hearing us? I'm hearing you.
Yeah, man. All right, cool.
All right. We are talking about there's an echo in the background, so I don't know. So I'm going to ask you the question.
I'm not echoing in my background.
Okay, I'm hearing you clearly now. All right,
Okay.
cool. All right, people. So let's welcome to the show, Mr. Newly crowned champion of the Jamaica Premier League, Mr. Rudolph Speed. You know what I mean? After 40 years, Cavaliers have finally won the Premier League again, consistently using youth, and the youth finally come through. No, WhatsApp is not working. I don't know what is happening with WhatsApp. So, Mr. Speed, the floor is yours. Everybody saying congratulations. You know, some are even promoting you.
But they're promoting me too.
So, why I don't want to be the one to say it, you know, because I don't want to be a fighter them job, you know. They're promoting you to a big position in local football. You understand me? Suggesting that you should be in charge of certain things. You understand me? But yeah. But congratulations. I mean, any of the footballers there with you, man, that you want?
Yeah, Daxel is here with me, but as you say, them can't go on WhatsApp because that's the way I was going to send them the link.
Oh,
so
they're there with you, man. So what I can do, man, let Daxel come
but
on.
But Daxel can come talk to you now.
Yeah, man, let him come and talk to you. Yeah. All right, people, this is Melvin Daxley, the man who has all of St. Lucia buzzing. You can take off your mask, Mr. Daxley. All right. So how do you feel, sir? 2-8.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is the most amazing thing about winning the Jamaica Premier League? Is this your first championship, or you have won in St. Lucia or in other places that you have played?
Well, coming from St. Lucia, you know, playing for such a great club like Cavalier, and after 40 years, you know, winning the league is just an amazing feeling for me. And my family back home, you know, the coaches, you know, I really wanted to do it for Mr. Speed because he have been putting in work and, you know, doing a lot for us. And yeah, and there it is today.
Yeah, so how do you think Cavaliers is helping you to be a better footballer, and how have you improved?
Yeah, of course. The coach always speaking to me, on my weaknesses and what I should improve on, and I keep working on it in training and trying to better each and every day. And just trying my best every day. Yeah.
Yeah. So at any time were you worried that you were going to lose this?
No, worried about losing. My mentality is always win. I like to win. Even at training, I always used to tell the guys that this league is our league, and they was like, "You sure?" I tell them, "Yeah, we're going to win even in the finals." I was like, "Yes, guys, that's our game. We're going to win." When the guy got the red card, I say like, "That's the chance right now. We should take it. That's the opportunity. So let's take it." And they was like, "Yeah, let's go." So, yeah.
Did you take any of the penalties?
Oh, so you didn't?
No, I know. No, I know that you took a penalty, man. But were you like? I mean, was there any fear when you were taking that penalty? Are you confident that I am going to score this?
Yeah, I always believe in myself. In anything I do in this world, anything I doing, always have confidence, full 100. So yeah, when I was about to take the penalty, I just said, just be calm, take a deep breath, and I know I could do it. The players can do it too. So yeah, and after every training session, we used to always take penalties because, coach always saying that we never know what could happen in the finals, and then so we should take penalties after every training session, and yeah, and it finally worked for us.
Yeah. So how is Saint Lucia responding now?
Yeah, Saint Lucia, oh my God, I can't wait to go back home. The fans is waiting for me. My family is waiting for me.
At the airport?
Oh, yeah.
So this is a big thing in St. Lucia then, man.
Yeah. They're supporting me 100%. Like, the whole of St. Lucia is watching it. And I'm like,
whoa.
Wow. They're watching the Jamaican Premier League because of the St. Lucians playing in there. And I'm like, okay, I got to do it.
All right. So have you shared the moment with the other two St. Lucians playing in the league, which is Mac Arthur is his name, and
McFarlane.
Yeah. So have you spoken to them? Have they called to congratulate you?
Yeah, they called me this morning, and they tell me congratulations and keep working hard and continue doing my stuff. They're proud of me. I'm making the country proud, and my family back home, everyone. And I'm like, all right, thank you, bro.
All right. So how old are you? Because some people think you're probably one of the senior players in the team. How old are you?
I'm a young boy, man. I'm 23 years old.
You're 23. Okay. And you
just turned 23 this year.
And you're a St. Lucian national. You play for St. Lucian national team.
Yes. At the age of 19.
From 19, how many caps you have for the senior team?
18 caps.
18 caps. People, I want you to hear this, right? This is a man, right? And this is something that we need to do. This is a 19, started playing for his national team at 19 years old, right? 19 years old, and has 18 caps already. Why are we afraid to put 19 years old in our national team? And think, do you see any player on your team that you said this man should be in the Jamaica national team right now?
I believe
played with him.
I believe the entire team should be on the Jamaican squad.
Yeah, you said that the entire Cavaliers team should be played for Jamaica.
The entire team.
All right. They have a Jamaican called Border Cat, and he would hear that and say that will never happen, right?
That will never happen.
But is it like who are the standout on your team for me? Give me like 4 so that you said yes. Like right now, put these guys in this World Cup campaign and know that they would make a difference.
All right, I'll go with Jaden White, the goalkeeper. Yeah. John Waitopi, Richard King, Ronaldo Webster, Dwayne Beasley Atkinson, Chanel Thomas, yeah.
All right, now you're gonna call out the whole team.
The whole team.
All right. Well, I can see the joy in the face, and I'm so happy for you. I really believe that you have been one of the standout players in the league. I mean, you play very good in holding midfield. I know you can also play centre back, and I mean, many would think it would be difficult for you because you're from a smaller country. You come here, you're playing in Jamaica. I'm glad that you're in a club like Cavaliers that is professional, that has helped you in your own development. And I hope, other St. Lucians. I mean, I hope when you go back home, you'll find some other 19 and 20-year-old to say, listen, you need to come over Jamaica. Good football playing, and all of that. But yeah, but what is your takeaway from the league this season?
Well, you know, it was kind of difficult for me, you know, at first, and then I really settled in, and the players make me feel at home. The coaches, I really appreciate the way they treated me as a player and from St. Lucia to come up in Jamaica Premier League and playing good football. I just enjoy my moments down here, and I'm looking forward to next season and coming back and do better and bigger things.
All right, so Melvin, somebody is asking because we have some persons, a lot of good comments coming up, but this one, I don't know if you can see that. Fresh God is asking you if you got any pretty St. Lucian girls for us, Melvin Doxley. Would love to meet some.
St. Lucia has a lot of pretty girls. Fresh God, if you want pretty girls, you could go to St. Lucia.
Yeah, man. But thank you. But all the people in the comment section, really, they were saying that they wish you were a Jamaican. Wish you could play for Jamaica. Maybe what you need to do, Fresh God, is have him marry a Jamaican and get Jamaican citizenship. You understand me? So that he could. But thank you so much. When you go back to St. Lucia, listen, encourage others because that's what we want to see. This is CARICOM, and yeah, would love to have them come over and be a part of the league. And I hope when you represent the national team, you will do well and sing. All right. Anything you want to say to the fans, because there are many Cavaliers fans in the chat right now?
Yeah, I just want to say that thank you for welcoming me, and thank you for everything you have done for me this year in this league. I really appreciate everything from the coaches, the sponsors, the fans, the players. Thank you very much. I really appreciate everything, and yeah, looking forward to see them soon. I'm not hearing him.
A question for you from Coach Minzy from the coach's desk. So let me just get that question from him, and then I'd love for you. He's asking me, Michael Peterson is the name, Coach Minzy? Michael Peterkin. All right. Do you know Michael Peterkin, Melvin?
Michael Peterkin? No.
He's a St. Lucian coach, Minzy. Coach Minzy, is he a St. Lucian footballer?
No, he's one of the coaches over there.
Oh, he's one of the coaches, Michael Peterkin. He's a coach in St. Lucia.
If you had a nickname or something.
Is there a nick? He's asking if you have a nickname, Coach Minzy. He's asking if he has a nickname. Oh, Michael Peterkin.
No, I don't know who's that.
He coaches in high school.
No, I don't know who's that.
Oh, he said no, don't know him. You can come on. You want me to send you the link? All right then. Yeah, man. All right, yeah, man. All right, so Doxley, respect, and again, yeah, man. So we really appreciate that. I really appreciate you coming over, being a part of the league. Again, congratulations. If they were picking a team of the season, trust me, you would be in it because you have been one of the standout. You have really had a good season in your first season. Keep growing, keep improving. All right? Yeah, man. All right, blessings. Yeah, man. You're welcome. People, that is Melvin Doxley, CDM at Cavaliers, and also one of the champions, one with Cavaliers. Who else you have, Mr. Speed?
I don't have anybody else, because
yeah, the rest of them,
if the WhatsApp did come through, then I would get them. But
yeah, man, the whole WhatsApp thing is down on Instagram. Unless you can go on regular text message, because that's how I also sent it to you, like regular text message. But give us a little bit about, how you feel, Mr. Speed, after winning the league, after what, 40 years, and working with youngsters. And then, we have a couple of other things that we want to talk to you about. What is the feeling like? And
well, I must tell you that after we lost the game against Mount Pleasant and we assessed the league, we were saying, look like we can win this league, and we change our mindset a little. If you might notice, we're much more deliberate in everything we do when we play. Not so much spontaneous again. And we defeated Portmore, then Veer. Thank you, Gavin. And we look at Tivoli, very hard not to crack. But we just was always positive that we'll be able to bring it home. So and we did our homework, and we look at all the teams, we look at what they are capable of doing, and we know that the dreaded penalty shootout could be one aspect of the game too, and we're prepared for that too. So we had a very good unit of coaching staff that worked together. Everybody, the players wanted to win. Again, that is something else. So we just had that feeling of expectancy right through up to the finals. And they won, and you can see how happy everybody was. Remember, the Premier League is the only title that I've not won in Jamaica. I mean, as a group title. So I really just wanted to win that one to add to the rest, and it's history, and so it's a personal milestone of mine. But a lot of the players, imagine a 16-year-old Christopher Ainsworth has a winner's medal around his neck. A lot of people who have played Premier League for years has never had a winner's medal around their neck. So it was a great feeling. A lot of people don't know, but it is true. Cavaliers is everybody's second team. So some people have Cavaliers as their first team, and then it's their second. And then if you're not the first team, Cavaliers is everybody's second team. Is one of the most liked team in the country. And the story. This is not just a win for us; it's a win for young people. It's a win that says use the youths. Give the youths a chance. Also, I've been saying that we have talent like rice grain, and people don't believe me. No, there's not enough talent in Jamaica. It's not, that's not true. There's a lot of talent here. It needs to be harnessed. And we, just like we are number one in sprints, we could run close in football too if we put a mind to it and harness the talent that we have. So now there was a debate about us having 16 Premier League teams and we don't have enough talent. Look what happened this year. Most teams literally change out all of their players, and I don't think the quality suffered. So I am saying that argument is now a moot point. We can get 16 teams from Jamaica, 16 really good teams if we give youth a chance. So so that is one of our feelings. Remember, some people were all saying, oh, okay, Speed is kind of half mad, because if him think him can win titles with young players, him crazy. Well, I don't know who's crazy now. So those are some of the feelings that we keep going through. And then it brings into focus also that Leighton Duncan, who was the last person who won the title in 1981. We beat Thunderbolt. Bradley Stewart was the coach of Thunderbolt. And we remember those things. And also a couple of weeks ago, Roy Welsh passed away and Patrick Bell, So it's a whole mixed bag of feelings actually, but it's something that we're happy we were able to accomplish.
Yeah, man. All right. All right. You saw that one before. They were saying that you need to sign some players from the West, so the West can shine in town. That was Jarvis. But
yeah.
Here's a. Yeah. Hello. All right. I think Mr. Speed is on a call, but I'm going to take this question. People keep sending in the comment because we're going to segue into we are going to segue into some national football discussion. Mr.
I'm going to give you Mr. Doxley.
Okay. All right. Mr. Speed gone on some other interview right now. All right. So Mr. Doxley is here back again, people. Yeah. Yeah, so yes, a fact. I'm going to get back to your question, Roadball TV. All right. So while Mr. Speed, Mr. Doxley, you watch the Jamaica national team in their games. What do you think? Do you think we can qualify for the World Cup with the team that we have?
Yeah, of course. They'll have good international players, quality players playing in the Premier League with good experience. I watched the game against Panama where they'll play at home, and these guys that were playing in England and they were playing that game against Panama, they should have really take charge of the game, because they're at home and they have the whole fans behind them, and they were playing too many long balls and they wasn't really settling. They just rushing the game and wasn't taking the time to play and stuff like that. But I just want to wish them the best, with the team they have, with Jaden White and John White Topi joining the squad, which make me really happy. I just want to see them getting more, playing time on the national team and doing the best. Yeah, I believe they can qualify for the World Cup.
Yeah, okay. No man, people, Mr. Speed is going to come back. It look like he got a call. Because you know, they just when the title says probably taking a call from. So as soon as he comes back, I'll go back over the questions. And what you can do is just copy a question. Just copy it, and so when you see him come back, you just paste it back in the chat. Just in case I missed it, right? So this one is saying, St. Lucian, bro, can you switch your nationality to Jamaica and make Speed bring you into the national team?
Yo, Travis.
I don't think you want to answer that one in the next year.
No,
You want to go, you can't return to St. Lucia.
You wanted to deport me back to Jamaica?
Yeah, man, but you said that Busy is a good player. You think he will be he could add value. But all right, let me ask you this. When you look at football in Jamaica, how does it compare to like when you look at like Cavaliers and all the young players in the league? How does that compare to what you have in St. Lucia?
Well, in Jamaica, Jamaica have more talent than St. Lucia. You get more exposure in Jamaica. You know, there are good young players in Jamaica. Well, this guy surprised me because when I spoke to Speed and, you know, Speed told me that his team is young players and like they play in the Premier League. I was like, huh? Young players playing in the Premier League, 17, 16, 15. These players like inexperienced, and I'm like, I didn't want to doubt them or anything like that, but when I really get to know them and I saw them play and I saw the quality, I was like, wow, these guys can play. You know, I started believing in them, start talking to them, you know, trying to make them get some like things I know from the national team from St. Lucia. You know, I try to help them with it and, you know, try to help them on the game and stuff like that. You know, I feel like my part in the Cavalier team, you know, it really helped some of the players on the team. You know, I really appreciate that for myself. In St. Lucia have good quality players, but we don't have the exposure like how Jamaica have it. You know, like in St. Lucia, you barely get players playing on the outside. You know, maybe about how many of us from St. Lucia playing on the outside? Maybe about two of us.
Or
Two,
playing
four,
outside of St.
five.
Lucia?
We have one playing in Finland. Three of us playing in Jamaica. Yeah, that's all right now. We had some playing in Trinidad, but the league in Trinidad is closed. So just four of we.
Oh, so but cricket is the number one sport. I think
Yeah, cricket
Roadball
is the
TV
number one
says.
sport. You know, Darren Sam, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But so what about the coaching? Is the coaching
Yes,
any better? How do you compare the coaching in Jamaica compared to that in St. Lucia?
I think it's basically the same thing. You know, I cannot compare anything because basically I'm seeing the same thing, the same coaching, the same training, the same strategy from the coaches and stuff like that. And like it's not nothing new to me because back home in St. Lucia, I used to like use the same coaching aspect of the game the coaches have in St. Lucia. I'm seeing the same thing in Jamaica, so it's not nothing new to me.
Yeah, and many people say that like Jamaica we play very rough and we are very aggressive. Do you find
Right,
that to be so?
right. When I was about to leave, you know, I was hearing that Jamaicans like they play football rough and solid and stuff. I was like, yeah, that's what I like, solid football. You know, I didn't take anything for granted, and you know, but I
Okay, so
believe,
so they did warn you coming to
yeah, they
Jamaica
told me
that
advance. They told me advance, and I used to
that
watch a league too. I used to watch it.
yes,
I used to
yes.
watch a league back home.
Oh no, Eagle Republic. Trust me, he's got. I think he probably is on some station talking about the football, man. He's going to come back, man. He's not going to that. He's going to give us. Listen, people, don't leave the stream when Mr. Speed come back. We're going to get into some national football, about the
Yeah,
ticket and all of those things. He's going to discuss that, man. He's just on a phone call. And Claudine, stop giving yourself trouble. Mr. Speed is not running. One thing I can tell you with Mr. Speed, when you come on to question, he is going to answer. Yeah. He says each team should have one or two players from the Caribbean so the league can. I agree with you. I think that would be a very, very, very good thing. Because here Duxley Melvin is saying that all of St. Lucia was watching the game. Imagine if the Portmore that had the other two St. Lucians were in the final against Cavaliers. What that would be like. That would have probably even pulled out more persons. But you're able to adjust to the roughness of the game, right? And all of that. It wasn't a problem for you.
yeah. I'm a guy. You know, I'm a player that I adjust quickly. In St. Lucia, football is basically the same way, rough, fast-paced, the high intensity, So I'm accustomed to it, and I used to play in Trinidad as well. So it's like nothing new to me. And I love intensity football. Intense football, sorry.
Well,
Yeah.
what about the turf? Because many people saying that the turf is very difficult to play on and stuff. How did you find playing on the artificial turf?
Well, it's nothing new to me. The only problem I had with it was, the sun. When the sun was out and it's really hot, I couldn't breathe properly on the turf because of the rubber.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only problem I had with it. That's the only problem.
Yeah, man. One, I'll definitely do that. So this is your first. When you were playing in Trinidad, did you win the league there?
No, this is my first major trophy outside of St. Lucia.
Oh, you won the league in St. Lucia?
Yeah, I won everything in St. Lucia in my club.
So St. Lucia has a Premier League. Like, how many teams participate in the St. Lucian Premier League?
Say that again?
How many teams participate in the St. Lucian Premier League?
I think it's 10 or 12, I think.
Okay, because some people say sometimes that we should not have so many teams because we're too small a country. So I was wondering if you guys... Yeah, many people say that, and then here it is at St. Lucia, probably that is way smaller than us, have 10 teams in their league.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, great. So when the last game you played for St. Lucia was, you were called up for their last Nation Leagues game?
Yeah, I was part of that. The last game I played against St. Lucia.
Played for St. Lucia?
Yeah. I can't remember what it was in 2019.
Okay.
Against who? I can't remember,
But have you ever played against Jamaica?
No, never played against Jamaica. I always wanted to play against Jamaica. Even at youth level, under 17, under 20, I always say I want to play against Jamaica.
Why do you want to play against Jamaica? You're 6 because against St. Lucia 6 and them things there,
What?
Are you sure? Are you sure you want to play against Jamaica?
Of course.
Really, with all Shamar Bowes and Nicholson?
I believe I could mark any one of these players.
Any one of these Jamaican players?
Anyone. Even Antonio too.
All right. Well, it's good to have that confidence. But what you say is a big what is your biggest attribute as a footballer? What do you do well on the football field?
Well, to me, what I do well is that you see my communication, and like the way I read the game and stuff like that is like it helped the teams a lot. It helped me as a player too. I got a lot of experience from playing on the national team at a young age. It really helped me develop my game as quickly as possible. And yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing about me, I like playing defensive mid as well. Because I like to break down plays and go into tackles. That's the kind of player I am.
When you think about this, you see this question? Do you think?
Right, that's a good question. I like that question. I'm always thinking about that too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. At least like 2 teams from each Caribbean country, the 2 top teams play in the Champions League, in the Caribbean Champions League. That'll be good. That'll be wonderful.
All right, you can imagine you get drawn against a St. Lucian team.
Oh.
Play for Cavaliers? Playing for Cavaliers against the club you used to play for in St. Lucia?
They will kill me if I play against them.
They take the football that seriously?
What? Yes.
This is said that you're sure you want to pick up a 6 from Jamaica. But here's the next good one. Who is your favorite player? And who is your favorite team? Club team.
Favorite team?
Yeah.
My favorite team is Manchester United. My favorite player is Paul Pogba. But to me,
in
Messi and Ronaldo, I like Ronaldo. But Paul Pogba is my favorite player.
People, you think we should continue the stream? I'm an Arsenal fan and the man come on the program and talk about his favorite team is Manchester United. Where should I go from here, people? Oh, and Paul Pogba is your favorite player. That's good. That's good. Why do you like Pogba though? Why is he your favorite player?
Because the reason why I like Pogba is that his self confidence, the way he read the games, the way he plays, his style of play in the midfield, his long passing, he's he knowing when to do certain things with the ball, and it's just them kind of things, them simple things.
Yeah. Okay. I you said that if you have a choice between Ronaldo and Messi, you're picking Ronaldo.
Yeah,
Is it
that's my
because
boy.
is it because you think he's better than Messi, or because he
No,
plays for
it's not.
Manchester?
No, it's not because of that. It's because of his mentality and the way he works off the field and on the pitch, and the way he encourage players. You have an elite mentality. You always want to win. You know, yeah, that's the kind of person he is, and I believe it fits me.
Okay, so you believe that Ronaldo works harder than Messi?
Definitely yes,
Really?
yes.
Okay, but hold on. Let me ask you this: which do you prefer, to work hard or to work smart? Because working hard don't mean much if you're not working smart,
All
I
right.
prefer.
Okay. Let me tell you something. Cristiano Ronaldo did it at Manchester United, Real Madrid, and at Juventus. Messi only did it at Barcelona, only at one club.
Yeah, but he's now at PSG. What if he wins the Champion League with PSG? Would that make
What
a
if
difference?
what if he's not going to
Yeah.
win it? Because if you watch yesterday, PSG played. What happened?
you watch what Manchester United played against Everton?
We didn't lose.
Okay, okay.
We didn't lose.
All right. But I
But
I
there is a next player who's going to come on the live. Giovanni Mito,
Okay,
July
yeah, man.
31st.
Bring on Mr. Mitu from Technical High School, cause I hear Jarvis asking for
Mr. Westmoreland.
Mr. Westmoreland. Mitu, who got a couple of games, left from high school and goes to JC. Man from Frome. Not supposed. Bring him on. Let me talk to him. Come, he's a
Come
money.
through, my bro, God.
Mr. Mitu,
Good afternoon, sir.
how you doing, sir?
Doing fine. How are
You
you?
know, you know that as a management and you're a free man, I don't know if we should be having a conversation because we are
That's a rival.
we arrive, huh?
Yeah, we're rival, but been a while since I've played Mannings. Mannings have left our zone from a couple of years before I
There,
hit our
there,
zone.
there you go. But there you go. Clinical striker. No, you were under the tutelage of Aaron Lawrence early in your career at Frome. I think he really brought you to the fore. You were part of the Real Madrid camp, right? That he
No, I
used to
wasn't
have.
a part of the Real Madrid game, but he was the one that let me really introduce myself. And at first, I wasn't a striker. I wasn't a striker at first. I was a more left-sided player. I usually play the left back position and the left left wing position. But I told him that I thought about it, and I think I wanted to become a striker because I see that where I could help the team because I have the ability to score goals. I am very clinical.
Okay.
And he
So
gave
let
me
me.
a chance. I took the opportunity at 15 years old. So
15 years old. All right. So let me. I just want to slide this in. Messi or Ronaldo?
Ronaldo.
All right. All right. I was hoping that um um Lamoy would listen, but you're choosing Ronaldo, so we can't go there. But so tell us a little bit about your own footballing career. I know you played at Frome. You had a very good Da Costa Cup. I mean, you scored a lot of goals down there in that zone. How far did your school go? How many goals did you score that season? And then I think you got transferred to JC. You're still at JC?
Yes, I'm still at AC.
Okay, all right. So tell us about your last year at Frome and how far did Frome High School go? How many goals did you score that season?
I scored 20 goals in all of the competition. I scored one in the Champions Cup, 19 in the Costa Cup.
Okay, and how far did your team progress in the Da Costa Cup?
Went to the quarterfinal stage.
Okay, and in the Champions League, you lost in the first.
No, we went to we beat Camperdown. Come and we face KC. We got 2-1. KC.
Okay, you lost to KC. That is the team that had
Quarterfinals.
the young Woodbine brother on that team.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then you moved to JC, but there was no DaCosta Cup.
No, it was
Manning Cup last season.
For the 2020 season.
So right. So this would be your first season.
Yes, sir.
So how old are you now?
18 years old.
Okay, 18.
Yes.
All right. So how did you make the transition? No, because normally when a man leave like country and come town, come play ball, them say, what can them country baller, How have you made that transition?
Well, it's not really a problem for me when they say country man. But I don't really get called that often. But it's not really a problem for me. I don't see it as a problem.
It's not a problem. All right. So with Cavaliers now, you haven't played a lot this season, but how does it feel at 18 years old to say that, brethren, I have won the Premier League in Jamaica at 18?
I feel well, I make my parents proud, friends, family, everybody proud. I'm extremely tremendous feeling. You know that I play in the Premier League for my first time. I always wanted to play in the Premier League. I always dreamed of playing in the Premier League. And I always wanted to be here at Cavaliers. Watching the Monday Night Football back home when I used to be at home. I always like Cavaliers team. There's always younger players just coming out of Manning Cup. I always watch Manning Cup and that, so I always know those players and realize they were always at Cavaliers. Alex Marshall, like those players, So I always like Cavaliers. It was good to be here and to play my first season and win a trophy, get a gold medal. It's an awesome feeling.
So where do you want to go from here? Is it that you just want to play for Cavaliers all your life? And think where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? How you want to transition out of schoolboy football? Why win a Premier League and go back and play schoolboy football? Some of those things. Talk to us a little bit about that. And then what do you want to, in terms of your footballing career, where do you want to go? Which club would you love to play for and all of that?
Well, with schooling now is I would like to further my education at the sixth form. But I didn't even really get the chance to.
So you're in the sixth form now, right?
Yes, I want to finish sixth form and further my education.
Okay, so you want to get yourself educated first. So you want to play football professionally, or you just want to get yourself educated?
I really want to play professionally. That's what I really want to do, professionally.
All right. So they're asking what position you play. So you're a center. Yeah.
Yeah, center.
All right. I see. Let me just get some of the questions. Was it Jimmy coach him at Froome? No, Jimmy never coached at Froome.
Jimmy?
Yeah, no, Jimmy never coached at Froome. He was coached by Aaron Lawrence, and I think the last season, was it Quarry who was the coach there?
No, Quarry was there in my first season when I was on. I didn't play the Costa Cup those years, though. It was 2016 was Quarry's last year. My first year at D Cup camp. And I was in 8th grade, second form. Quarry left 2016. 2017 was Aaron Lawrence, and 2018. My last season of 2019 was Downswell. Renario Downswell.
Renario Downswell, right. Renario Downswell, right. That's the son of Wendell Downswell.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. So, where do you see yourself playing professionally, though? I mean, what is your dream club, and who do you model your game? Yeah, who do you model your game off? Like, you see, when I watch, that is a player that I want to be like. That is a player that I want to play like.
Erling Haaland.
Erling Haaland?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about his game that you like?
Is willpower to maneuver his ball. You don't really see any defender bullying him off the ball and pushing him off. He always bulldoze his way through the defense line, and he's very decisive on what he's going to do. You never see him turning back the ball. Anytime he get the ball, he always going forward, forcing through the defense line.
Okay. Are somebody suggesting that you should not go to the USL? That is the United Soccer League. But what club would you like to play for? I mean, you know,
Always like Chelsea. I always want to play for Chelsea.
okay, so you'd love to play for Chelsea one day. You
Yes.
think you're good enough to play for Chelsea? Or you think you will be good enough to play for Chelsea? Do you believe that you can
Yes,
develop the
I believe that I can go with the help of the Almighty up above and hard work
okay.
with me.
So tell me about your Cavaliers teammate, right? How good is Duxley? Will you give him 1 out of 10?
Man, that's me. Excellent, man.
Eh?
Excellent. Yeah.
From 1 to 10, with 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, how would you rate his performance this season? Don't afraid of him can't do nothing. He's from St. Louis.
Performance this season, well, going see training with him from his here, training with him and watching him train and play practice games, come up in the Premier League and play his first, second, all the games. I'll give him a 8.5, knowing his ability. I know he could do much better in a couple of the games that I watch him in, and I always talking to him as me and him, he's from St. Lucia's, we're at the same house. Me and him kind of band
Okay.
more different race of players.
Okay, wonderful. Somebody saying that this is what does the young man make of the current Jamaica team style? Could he see himself thriving in such a system? What do you make? Yeah, what do you make of the current Jamaica team style, like how we play the national team? And you think if you're in this team, you could do excellent based on how you see them play?
I don't think we're playing. I think we need a system to play. We're not playing to a system. We don't have an identity.
Okay, like I mean, you want to export do what? All right, so you're at Cavaliers.
Yes, sir.
You know the identity of Cavaliers. If I ask you, explain to me how Cavaliers play, what would you say? What would be your explanation? Yeah.
Our playing style, that we have always have three at the back. We use our wing players. So my team is watching Cavaliers and they're coming to play Cavaliers. You always the wing backs play an important role in the squad. So we don't use wingers, we use the wing backs. That we always mostly we don't use the full space, we always use the half space. That's because in modern football now, wing backs are very crucial. The half space ones are breaking down different lines, and so that's the type of football taking over now.
Okay. Well, I know some persons are saying that if you're so good, you play in the Premier League, you won a title, you should not play in a schoolboy football. But he did say also, people, let's give it to him, he did say he wants to complete sixth form and get his education. And so his purpose is primarily to get himself educated. So if he's going to do that, then it makes sense. If he's going to be in school, he understand he does that. Because you can't be hard on a person who wants to get himself educated, because out of every 1,000 footballer, only one of them make it big time. So the other 999 persons have to probably have other career, and the more educated you are, it is the better it is going to be. So you understand me? So I don't think that is a bad thing. Me too. I think that's a very good thing that you want to get yourself educated, because it can't be one way. I used to play football, played for Mannings. And here's the truth. I decided that if I played football in Jamaica, I would be broke. So I focus on my education. Maybe things are different now. You understand what I mean? And so if I weren't as educated as I am, I would have been struggling, because a lot of the persons who chose to play football primarily in my age group and never got themselves educated, those persons, they are falling by the way. You understand me? So I understand when you're in a culture like Jamaica, where the salary for playing football is not, just can't get certain things done. You have to be very mindful of getting yourself educated to almost take yourself out of the doldrums of society. So Yeah, that is the reason. So I support a baller using the opportunity to grow themselves. We have sports friends in the building. Welcome, bro. Um, this is Levon. He says, can't wrong your youth. Has to have that backup when you leave football, or if it doesn't
Yeah, you
work
have to have
out.
a plan B. You have to have a plan B.
Yeah, you have to have a yeah.
You never know. You never
Um,
know. Football is a contact sport. You never know. Injuries can come at any time.
yeah. All right. There's a next one here. How much they're trying to find out, somebody is asking how much subjects you have.
Subject. I
Yeah.
have 7 subjects.
Okay. 7 subjects, and he's in sixth form at JC. Somebody is encouraging us that you should finish sixth form, and from there you move to you can move overseas. And then Gavin, I think Gavin is saying that why don't you think Jamaica have a system, or is it you don't understand the system Jamaica is playing?
Well, if that's their system, because all the thing I see is happening. We're not passing the ball enough. We're not keeping the ball. Always a big kick forward, the ball coming back on us. Pressure coming back on us. Once the defender get the ball, we're not seeing any midfielder moving, any passing, nothing at all. It's always one big kick up the field, the ball coming back. If you notice, all of the goals we have scored is always up. If it's not from a corner, a set play or anything, it's the ball booted upfield and it wasn't dealt with properly by the defender to score a goal. You don't have an identity.
Yeah. Oh, this person is asking me how much subjects I have. He said that school is overrated. I don't like to talk about my my education and these things, but just know that in very short order, in terms of educationally, probably by November, I will have a PhD. So I don't think I need to go further to get into the subjects, but that is how far. All right, and it's not an honorary one. Yeah, but that is true. That is true. I really So how do you see that? Oh no, he's asking how you can see that there's no system and the coach and the national team can't see the system. But have you ever represented Jamaica at the youth level, and how so? Yeah,
15 and 17.
at under 15, under 17.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So where did you play? Who did you play against? And yeah, who was in
Well,
charge of the team at that time?
when I was at the under 15, it was Aaron Lawrence. Under 17 was coach.
Andrew Edwards.
No, it was Edwards. That was from Webster's days.
Okay. So
It was
who?
Gilchrist. It was Gilchrist at my understanding.
Oh, Gilchrist. Okay. Yeah. So did you actually play? Did you score any goals?
No, I didn't score any goal in the championship.
Okay. And how did the team perform in the championship?
I wouldn't say we performed to our potential.
Do you see yourself
It
ever
was-
representing Jamaica at the senior level?
Yes, I always wanted to help my country in a way I could. Always
Yeah.
have paid for the senior team.
What are your thoughts on the present national team? I mean,
Very
like
good bunch of players.
based on the players that we have right now, who would be your preferred 11 to start a game for Jamaica? Say you were the coach of the team, and we're going to play against the USA. Who would be the 11 players you use?
Based upon the team that they have selected now.
Yeah, based on all the players that you know, if they are
All the
fit.
players that I know.
Yeah, who would be 11 players that you use?
Let's see, starting from the back, Andre Blake, Oliver Powell, right back, right centre back, you have Damian Lowe, Liam Moore, and Amari Bell. I use 4-2-3-1.
Okay, you use 4-2-3-1. So you're going Alvas Powell, Damian Lowe, Liam Moore, and Amari Bell. Not playing Kemar Lawrence at left back.
I'll use America.
Okay, so who you play in midfield? Who is the two in midfield?
Reverend Morrison.
Ravel Morrison
Yeah. Daniel Johnson.
and Daniel Johnson.
Yeah,
All right,
in
so
front
that's
of those two. In front of those two, I have not Daniel Johnson. I have Revel Morrison and Devon
Devon
Williams.
Devon Williams. Ravel and Devon Williams. All right, so who are the three now in front of them?
Three in front of them now. I have left side. I have Bobby Reed.
Bobby Reed. In the
I
middle,
have Tyreek McGee.
Tyreek McGee, and out on the right.
We have it's Fulham again. Bobby Reed.
No, you call Bobby Reed for the left. You
Yeah,
have
Bobby Reed for left. Leon Bailey for the right.
Leon
Yeah,
Bailey.
yeah,
All right, so if Leon Bailey is out, they have Jamal Lowe you can put there.
Yeah, that's why I asked if it's the team that I selected now.
Okay. And then up front, who you play? Bowser or Mikel Antonio or Kemar Roof?
I would have started Shamar Nichols.
You saw Shamar Nicholson.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think when I don't think they have played enough with Antonio. They're not and we don't really understand each other. We need some
Okay.
more tuning with each other to really gel together and understand.
Okay.
They play better with Shamar Nichols and he's always scoring.
Yeah. The man them asking me some. He's asking which country won the first ever World Cup? Man is man and your guest. Now you are right.
First World Cup.
Who won the first World Cup?
I don't know.
I don't need to know that, you know.
Uruguay.
We can Google that, you know. But without Google, me say Uruguay still.
I think it was Uruguay.
Just off the top of my head, I say Uruguay.
Yeah, I said Uruguay. I think it was Uruguay.
Am I right? Just off the top of my head, me can just figure that out. I don't know, but that's not a bad team. You understand me? I don't know. I would probably start. I would probably start. I would probably start Kemar Lawrence over Amari Bell. That's what I do. But that's not a bad team that you have picked right there. Yeah. But I believe the first. So I'm not wrong. Listen, I am absolutely right. Uruguay were the first winners of the World Cup.
It was Uruguay.
Yeah. It was with Uruguay. I can't just guess those things, man. We know that, man. Yeah. Yeah. So who is the best? Who is the player on Cavaliers that you say, yeah, this player is a big, like this player is going to be the next big thing. Or these players are going to be really big. They're going to have a big impact on Jamaica's football. Which player there that me say, Jamaica say, yeah, man, I rate them ball. Listen, me good enough about it. So this a baller, yeah. Me never know see I saw the man. Bad until me play against it. Who is that person on the team?
Webster, Busy, Wayne Atkinson, and Shamil Thomas.
Okay. So you pick a JC man, a KC man, and a Woolmers man.
Yeah, really need those players.
Okay. Is it Webster from down your neck of the woods? Because didn't Webster play at Petersfield?
Yeah, he played Petersfield and he went down
to Stets. And then he went to Woolmers. Very good footballer. Mr. Speed is back.
Yeah, man, I'm back.
Mr. Speed, the people them beating you, There's a lady in the group that beating your body, So you need to come back on, because
Yeah, man, I come.
her name is Claudine. Where is Claudine? People.
He's gonna go on.
Yeah, man. All right, thanks, Mito. Looking forward to hearing. Hope next season you play some more games and score some more goals.
Yes, sir.
Where the lady are beating the boat now?
She's back now. You see here, you see. You hear what she said? Mr. Speed. Running man.
Yeah. What kind of politics that you come with now? Why she call me the running man?
Because every time she asks you a question, because the last question that was asked of you when you were on the thing last time, and internet went off and you went away. So she keeps saying every time she asks a question. And again, just a while ago, she asked a question and you were not here. So she keeps saying every time she asks a question, you're running away. So there you
No,
go.
man, I'm not running away. I never run, but I'm busy. And, you know, I have to do a lot of business. So,
Yeah.
no. What happened is that, yes, they can be challenged. There's a period that every 4 years, all the posts come up for election, the president, vice president, all of those posts. And you just should have to to be nominated by one of the parishes. So what happened is that you have to be nominated by 4 parishes, and then there's an election, and whosoever gets 7 of the votes presently, they will win the presidency. And the same thing goes for all the vice president position, so they can be challenged.
Yeah. They have been asking Mr. Speed, is there any information I can share? Because like I have a couple of persons from overseas. I think Jason Ferron was asking if you were to come to Jamaica, would he be able to get the ticket and come to attend the game? How would that work if
I don't know anything about the ticket at this point in time. Did they get approval? I know someone was supposed to release at 12, but I'm not privy to it.
Yeah, they got the approval, but the details of how persons access the venue is
right.
going
So
to
that
be
already until that is released, we just don't know what to tell.
Yeah.
But if you remember, one of the main things is that you need to be vaccinated, and that's the first stage. So if you're not vaccinated, don't come. You're not going to let you in.
Okay. And why did we only select 24 players? Because isn't it because most of the other teams select 27 for the national the last squad? Most other teams in like Mexico has 27, USA has 26, Canada has 26, but we have 20.
I don't think if you can select 26 and 27 and travel them, but on the bench is still 23 players.
Okay. I see. I think was it Shattered something here? No, Roadball TV.
That's not true. I did so much other stuff. People are just calling me left, right, and center today. Some to just congratulate some interviews that I had set up before. So that's really the reason. I don't drink. Only occasionally, like once in a blue moon.
Okay. Something from the side. I don't want. When will that system change? We want to see someone from side this system. I mean, from outside the system, meaning outside the whole footballing system. I suspect that means being a part of the thing. So they're trying to find out when will that. Isn't there some change coming in terms of how many votes?
The change will be made. They're going through the regulations now and the statutes of the JFF. It's a whole new working with FIFA. It's a whole new ball game when it is finally passed. I think it will come into place maybe in 2024 though. That time it will be finally passed. It has to go through some processes. Yes, instead of 13 person, there's an expectancy that it will be like at 70 will be able to vote. There's an expectancy that the parish association, who usually was all of the vote, that will change. They will not have all the vote anymore because the professional arm will now have votes and other stakeholders. So change is coming. I don't know if that decide who win the election or not, but change is coming, yes. And it will be probably in 2024 before it becomes effective.
2024.
Before it becomes effective.
Okay. Yes. All right. So let me just all right. So let me give you some.
And clearly, sir, management, it couldn't come effective before the end of this administration, which is 2023.
Okay. So because the next election is 2024.
2023, I think, in December. November.
Okay.
So it couldn't come before that because you when you make changes now, you can affect status quo like that.
Okay. I see what you mean. All right. So some of the players, how does the CONCACAF World Cup qualifying? How in terms of injured players or players not being available, what is the time frame in terms of being able to call somebody to replace them? Is there a cutoff point like 48 hours before the game, 72 hours before the game,
But I really
or
don't know because, like in Jamai's case, we got notification last night that he should join up with the squad. And
so hey, Mr. Speedy, you never tell me that, man. You know, tell me say Jamai
and
too forget. Tell
and
me, tell you.
I told
Huh?
him no. I told him no, so he'll be in.
So Jack people, you hear that? You heard it from the Jamai Topi has been calling and anybody else because
From Cavalier,
yeah,
the whole
anybody.
squad. No, I don't know of anybody else because
But I heard that Jaden White is also in. I heard that on the news last night that
Jaden
Jaden
White
White
is
has.
in and Jamal. But I must say it again here. A lot of people malign Jaden White. You don't know anything about the keeper. He has been keeping on one leg for most of the season. That is the reason why he wasn't looking so good initially. But he fought through those injuries. We didn't have another goalkeeper. He fought. Sometimes he's him alone on it. Nobody on the bench. He fought through those injuries. And but he's a born leader, fighter, and you can see near the end, last 5 games, considered only one goal. Sorry, considered only a penalty. He was like perfect, and only considered a penalty.
Okay. Well,
and he's the future. As I said before, he's the future. He's only 21. People believe that he's older because he's around so long. He was keeping from he was 17 years of age, and he's the future.
People, please hit the like button. If you're on the live stream, please hit the like button for me, please. And just hit that X down at the comment section right below the video, and then hit the like button. All right. We have so many people online. We want to make sure we get it up to the same amount of likes as persons viewing. So, Mr. Speed, we have one more question from Claudine, who is in the diaspora. So she's asking questions on their behalf, and then I'm going to take others because I don't want her to feel like you keep running. Yeah. So Claudia Hodges, she said, is the JFF appealing to the diaspora? Will they be transparent with us, or is it give us money and mind your own business?
Claudia, let me explain something, you see. I know over the years there has been a case where people believe that the JFF, a little bit underhand in some dealings, and that may be the case. Some people say them have evidence. I don't know. I've never seen it, right? I know when I was a treasurer, nothing like that couldn't happen because I wouldn't allow it to happen, right? But those were difficult times under Boxhill. I served for about 3 years. There was a period when I wasn't involved in JFF any at all, but now I'm involved in JFF. We have audited financial statements up to 2020, and those were lodged like a long time. You can see it on the JFF. You can see it on the FIFA website because it's not like we do it and keep it hiding. It's there that you can go and look at it. The FIFA actually audit Jamaica numerous times. Almost every single new audit that they come up with, they would have audited us, right? And we passed most of them with flying colors. We have some little issues which we sorted out, and we're back in their good graces. So when it comes to money, there is no hanky-panky going on around any money that the JFF has at this particular time. It can't happen. Like when something just can't happen. Of course, people will always think about some little things that happen. But people like Dennis Chung, who comes there, he runs a tight ship. He's a professional. He works for corporate Jamaica. He will never ever allow anything like that to happen, right? I mean, and myself, I help on the finance committee because that's my expertise, and Peter Reed. So nothing like that. So if you have money to support that, please do. Sometimes you don't have to just give money to. You could say the money is for a particular purpose. Just like when we have some sponsorship, they say this is for the Olympic team, or this is for the girls under 15, or this is for the girls under 17, or wherever you want the money to spend. You could just say, this is the fund we're doing, and we're doing it for a specific purpose. Like a good purpose would be to restart the Women's Premier League. So if you say, all of the money that I'm going to give the JFF is to start the Women's Premier League, we want a separate bank account for that, yes, it will be done. That is what FIFA do to us currently. We have to open separate bank account for separate funding and spend from it, and they come back and audit. So the same thing could be done if the diaspora wants to give us some money.
Yeah. All right. You see, Claudia, he's answering your question. So No running today. So people, please, I love all the comments. I'm not able to take all of them because there are so many. So we're going through and see if we can at least respond to some of them. But we thank all of you for all your comments. So don't think like I'm ignoring you. It's just that there are so many and they are going so fast. And this one is saying, yeah, are you legend to coach the senior
Let me
team?
tell
And
him
what?
about myself.
And they're also asking about your license. What is the level of your
All right,
coaching
good
license?
man. Me is a done coach. Me have a CONCACAF B license coach in certificate. I have it now for over 2 years, right? Of course, that makes me eligible to do the A license, which I'm hoping to do it next. It could start this year late or next year. I'm sure to be doing it this year or next year, right? And where marks again?
Right. If you're eligible to coach a national team.
I am eligible to coach.
I guess he's asking that because you are, I guess because of your position as
Right.
the
I'm eligible
yeah.
to coach the national team, but I'd have to resign from being the chairman of the technical and development committee because I could not supervise myself.
Okay. All right. People, listen. All right. Please, I am not ignoring your question. There are so many questions coming in from Mr. Speed. Like me have to come off the thing and ask him to run it and so don't do anything. All right. So is there any plans for western part of the country, Westmoreland and Hanover, I guess, in terms of football?
Well, I must tell you that we are trying to have a plan for all of the country. We can't pick out 2 parishes. That's not our MO, right? But we get some documents from FIFA which made certain things clear that we have to do, and we just have to do them. So we hope. Remember, everything we do, if we talk about club licensing, training coaches, all of those things that we're focusing on now, it's for all Jamaica. So we'll soon come to Westmoreland and Hanover with coaching course. We'll soon come to Westmoreland and Hanover again to talk about club licensing and why you must do it. FIFA Connect system, why you must use it. So all of those are for all of Jamaica, and it includes those.
Okay. All right. So I know you have answered this question on radio, but every time I heard it was discussed on one of the sports talking programs. I think last week.
Denzel.
Yeah. So yeah.
Denzel.
I know you have answered this question several times.
Yeah. But I don't know why they keep on asking. Cavalier is my business, right? And the JFF board is volunteer work that I elected. They asked me if I wanted to coach a national team or to work as the chairman of the technical and development committee. Now, if you know my background, you know that I as a technical person, it's not just my coaching license, right? I've been trained by FIFA all these years for 2 or 3 to run administration and finance. I can teach these things. So as a board member, you can see how valuable I would be to the board in a number of respects. So they want me to be on the board to help them with certain things. Now, I'm a non-voting board member. So whatever I do is a recommendation. I would clarify, etc. So the board would make decisions and vote on it. So I'd make no decisions on the board, even although I might have come up with some of the ideas, right? So that's the first thing when it comes to the board. So we have a lot of people in Jamaica, like the Prime Minister, all the member of Parliament. All of those people have businesses. None of those people close down their business because they become an MP. They still run the business. Why do you want me to close my business? Because I'm helping the national program to do something. So ask yourself the question. Who would be worse off if I quit one of these? Will Jamaica be better off? No. If I quit Cavalier, will Cavalier be better off? No. The players pay for me. So, and will be the board of the JFF better off? No. So what we do, because every single person who is on the board, the FIFA president, the CONCACAF president, they come from a country. Every single person that is in football come up through a club. Them start out with a club or a parish or a era or a representative of something, or them was a referee or them was something, and that is how people elevate them to other positions. So to ask me alone, me, the only person in a football, right, with a position, say I'm unethical, and you don't hold everybody else who have the same position, and some people even have more than me. I don't understand what you're thinking. It must be a case where I tell people when they come, and if that's all they see when they see me talk about ethics or talk about conflict of interest, if that's all they see, don't you see the work that I'm doing and think that is beneficial to the country and to the youth of Jamaica instead of talking about ethical? And that's the problem I have. So I know for a fact that most people who do it, I'm gonna just be honest, it's just a few people who keep on beating this thing. And it's because of bad news, everybody want to run it. Because that's how we are. We never ever see the good things that anybody do. Youngest professional team ever win a professional title ever in the world, not just in Jamaica. Fourth youngest professional team in Jamaica, right? All of these players was playing schoolboy football 5 years ago, right? 10 players leave the club last year and were still able to win. These players play for me, not for the club, as you want to say. On the JFF board, club licensing is a reality now. 136 clubs is on the FIFA Connect system and have club licensing. Coaching school, we just established a coaching school properly, where we're going to be issuing CONCACAF licenses, right? JPL, the new Premier League, I was instrumental in helping that get formed. I mean, we're coming up with we have a women's program. We're going to go professional by 2022. All of those things. Coaches, we're going to make sure so we have B license coach and we're going to have a pro license coach before 2025. That's the work I'm doing on the JFF board. Nobody used to do that before I came there. Whatever you name the person, come on, What is it you want? Just tell me.
Yeah. All right. So can we adopt a play and help to cut the expense?
Yes. That is one of the things that you had said too. Why not adapt a play and then just pay him fear alone? I will help us tremendously. Simple
but
thing.
we don't. What I'm saying, though, Mr. Speed, one of the problems is that nobody knows how to do that.
No, I'll let them put up the money and say yes, and we'll get.
Yeah, but what I said is that when I did this thing, for example, with the whole ticketing thing, there were persons who said yes, but there was no pathway to the video. There is no sort of contact. Like, okay,
yes, man. There was Miss Ducci. We could just send her an email, man, or send an email to the general secretary of JFF. Easy like cheese, man.
Okay, all right, there you go. All right, can you confirm what coaching certification the current senior coach holds?
He has a CONCACAF B license too.
B license, all right. If you were the coach of the nationals, because your player said when Mitu said that there is no identity, he doesn't notice an identity or system with the team, and he was explaining to us Cavalier's identity and system. So it is from this. It is from this.
You're asking me for this, Karumi. You know how me that play. You see it. But truth is though, sometimes you might have to change even what Cavalier play because you have to have the right people in the right to do it. You can't just pick a style without knowing who your best players are. So it's difficult to say it here without you knowing what your players are, and then you see what can work.
Okay, all right. Why is the federation so hard for the federation to get sponsorship?
Well, one of the big reasons that a lot of people just spread rumor, like federation, spread rumors about the federation, which is not true in terms of their financial management status. A lot of people spread rumor about the corporate governance of the federation, which is not true. Again, they do have their meetings on time, every time, election on time. They have minutes. I mean, so they give the federation a black eye, and the truth is, when you sponsor a national team, it's harder for you to get back the recognition, like say you sponsor JPL, where once you sponsor something like a JPL, it's easier for people to see what they are sponsoring day in, day out, week in, week out. The National Association plays 14 matches every year, or maybe less, and sometimes you feel that you don't get your money worth. So there's two different, there's a lot of reasons, but some of the reasons are so obvious.
Okay. For the persons asking about the coaching courses and those things coming up, all right, please let me just share some info with you. We're gonna have Andre Pierre, Mr. Speed.
Andre Pierre will come on board and tell
which is sometime next week to kind of speak to some of those issues, right. To know.
But we're ready to start. It's just that is you have to get permission from the government because some of it will be by Zoom, but a lot of it have to be practical and face to face. Because that's a trend now.
How important, let me just piggyback. Listen, there are people, please, I'm coming to you. Don't feel bad. I'm going to come to your comment. Mr. Speed, listen, the amount of comments, like, they just keep coming really fast. So just bear with me. I'm going to come to them. So respect that. Please, in the meantime, just like the video, share the video. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Someone is asking, Teddy Lee Grace, if so I'm just going through as they come through, is stopping now ahead of Richard King, because Richard King was called now. We have some
Richard doesn't have a visa for go USA. Topi does.
Okay.
Let me just say it like that without answering you who is ahead of who.
Okay. All right. So there you go. How important is having a football identity?
Well, I mean, you know,
Coach,
I don't know if I answer the question without getting a lot of people upset. The truth is, you know, people identify themselves, and the more people identify themselves with something, is the better they are able to perform. So, like Christianity, okay, I'm a Christian. You see, they identify yourself. Everybody is on the same page. So you say I'm a Muslim, and someone say, "Yeah, I'm a Muslim." So those people are on the same page. So it's the same thing with football. If you have identity, and players want to identify themselves with that identity, easier for them to perform. Simple. They believe in it. They believe in the system. If you have one, easier to perform, easier to explain, easier for everybody to think the same, easier for you to get better results. So that's really why a football identity is very important, because the buy-in of the person who's going to play it must be there. Now, if you have 11 person and none of them know what the system is or what the identity is, you see the problem you have right away. So that's why.
So who is all right? So like our team now, because there was a time when we had a technical director. Is the role of the technical director to create that, or is it the role of the head coach to do? Because a head coach, like I've heard our coach say this not recently, he said that I don't coach. I don't have enough time to coach, because when I get the players, and he used the fourth, the players coming on the fourth, the game is on the 7th. I'm just there to manage. So if his job is to manage, whose job, or should we know above him have a technical director and say, all right, technical director, you create the system, and the coach have to implement the system with the team? Maybe that we need to look at that, because right now the coach is saying, I don't have no time to really coach. Maybe he's saying that if you guys had a system that was there a long time, I would take that and do it, but I don't have that. All I can do now is manage the players. So should we look at having a technical director who can create a system of play for football from the junior levels to the senior levels, which was one of the things the coach alluded to? What are your thoughts on that? I mean, I know it.
So the way we're going to be doing it is not through the individual coaches like that. What we really want to do is from the coaching school, we start to integrate that in the teachings. So whenever the coaches go out now to work, they will bring it to all the players from a lower level. So that is the way we're trying to get that to be done. But to go and tell the senior team coach when he wants to just get points now, he'll have to do what he has to do to get the points. So and that would be short term anyway. So the long term aspect of it is for us to inculcate those principles in the coaches that we are training for them to go outside and do the work.
Okay. All right. Sports Friends is saying, Greater Mr. Smith making youths into overseas market, especially to Europe, is key in today's football. Look at US and Canada. Most of the youngsters moving.
Into Europe. But that's a no-brainer. You're correct, Sports Friends, for the simple reason that Europe has surpassed every single confederation in the world in terms of all the improved players. Because
even South America.
Yes, let's look at the World Cup for the last 4 times. When the last South America win the World Cup, they're behind. They fall behind. Europe is moving away, and even FIFA is concerned about it. And that is why they start the talent identification program to be able to identify talent from all around the world more, because they are scared that Europe has taken over. I think they have won the World Cup now 13 times compared to South America 9. I remember nobody else has won the World Cup except both those two blocks. And they're just moving away because there was a time they were neck and neck, and South America was ahead, and now Europe has just taken over and just keep on moving away. So, and it's scaring everybody because if that happened, then Europe could just break away and form the World Cup because that's where all the stars are. So, everybody, FIFA is now looking around to see if they can get the other countries up to speed.
Yeah, I think this question is that if it's about the diaspora, if we in the diaspora have players, does Mr. Speed want them too?
It's about Mr. Speed. Me with what? At Cavalier,
I think he's thinking Cavaliers.
Yeah, I mean,
but is it Cavaliers they're talking at the national team? Because if it's, go ahead, answer the Cavaliers part, Mr. Speed. Because
no, we're always looking for talent. So wherever talent is, we are like the United Nations of Jamaica. We have players from every single parish, basically in our club. We're like the United Nations. So we don't worry about where the player come from. If the player good, young, and fit our profile, which we do have a profile because of our style, yes, we want them.
Okay. And if it is a national team, one of the things I know, I have recommended players in North America, male and female, who have gotten call-ups. So I know that depending on who runs the program, I can say, listen, let me send you, this is a scouting report on this under 15, under 16, or under 17 players.
If there's a player in the diaspora that wants to play for a national team, contact Mr. Wendell Donzel, right? Send him a video. Or if you know who is the head coach of the team that your player wants to play in, contact that person directly. There's Roman Thomas too of the JFF, who is a team manager. You contact them, contact Roy Simpson, contact Mr. Wendell Donzel. So I've given your names now. Contact those persons. Contact Mr. Wynn. Mr. Wynn will send it on to the relevant person. So I've given you 4 names: Roman Thomas, Roy Simpson, Wendell Donzel, and Dalton Witt. Please send them your videos. Tell them the reason why you want to play for Jamaica. You will be investigated.
Okay. So this person is saying, oh, that's Coach Karumi. Sorry, this is a Busy Atkins one.
I don't know. We have invitation for him, but it's not from those countries.
Okay. This Kevin Brown is asking, I guess, because you're giving Anthony Grant a hard time.
It's Kevin Brown. Anthony Grant is good. He has really played well for us so far. Very good.
Yeah. What I'll say, people, like part of my thing with SB, because right now, right, which is what people are saying is that I cannot be a part of the JFF because it's kind of funny because I would want to be a part of the JFF to help, but I have a club that I started, and what they're saying is that I would have to give up my club. I could do that, but my club serves a greater purpose that I'd rather not help Jamaica's national football and serve the club that I serve, which is part of the issue you're raising. Part of the issue is that people keep saying it's a conflict of interest, but the truth is a lot of the people who you're going to see doing well to put in some of these positions are people who are operating successful clubs long time ago, and you're saying to them, if you want to help Jamaica's football, give up your club, give up what you have been doing for the last 20 years, give up those things and come and serve us. So we have to really weigh the thing in the balance, because I think someone said it earlier that in everything there's going to be conflict. So you manage conflict.
Yes.
How do we manage? Let me see if I can find it. I think it's such a critical statement.
The person who was asking me about the ethics and conflict, I want you to name one example where you have done something that has a conflict, or I've done something that is unethical, whoever the person is. So and when the JFF looked at it, because they looked at my situation more than once, and they asked the question of the person who was making the case. So, okay, give us an example, and they couldn't come up with any. Okay, and as I said before, there's conflicts every single where in life. As I said before, all these people that volunteer to serve them country, they have jobs. All of these people were in clubs. If you go volleyball, if you go at netball, these people have clubs. That is why people, put them up to serve. What you want to do? Take somebody off the road that knows nothing at all? Come on.
All right. So let me give a good example. All right. So presently I'm in Senton. So when I came back out here, I decided let me get involved in football. Started a club called Priory. Did well, took them from the lower leagues, took them up into Super League. In fact, the last time Volvo was about to get to the Premier League, that was when Sandals White House qualified. I think Sandals and Cavaliers went back in the league.
Correct.
At that time. I was a person who was managing Volvo. Merged my club with Volvo, and we call it Priory Soccer Academy. No, I didn't start the club to get to the Premier League necessarily. I started the club because I wanted to give back to the community, you know, having learned certain things, grown, and had some, you know, money you could put back in it to help people. So I started it to help kids to go back to school, youngsters and stuff. Now, I would not want to give up that because I'm going to give advice to you understand me? But I know that I can still operate. I can operate the club that I operate and still do the job that is required of me at the national level without it being a conflict. That's what I'm saying. There is a way to put, I think, again, this statement is right. Football farmyard said it. Put accountability systems and structures in place so you can manage these things. That is what I'm saying. So let me take this. All right. So people, for the persons who are saying the fact that Jamai Tope, for example, is in the team over Richard King, that cannot be a conflict of interest because both players play for Cavaliers. All right. So for the other persons now who said that Jaden White is not better than Dennis Taylor, so why is Jaden White called over Dennis Taylor? None of these two. Dennis Taylor not going to keep. Jaden White not going to keep. So your third string keeper in your national team is to develop. That's the spot. Go back to the 1998 World Cup campaign. You know who the third keeper was? Daniel Ricketts. Why was he in that team? Not to replace Warren Barrett. That was Aaron Lawrence's job. When Warren Barrett and Aaron Lawrence left, then he came in. The thing is that when we're bringing up the issues, we have to bring it up and make it make sense. Don't just say, well, Jaden White replaced Dennis Taylor, so that is a conflict of interest. That is an example. We can't bring it up like that. We have to put things in their proper context. So let me say it again. All right?
I want to say, before you go again, I want to say, I have no interest in picking any team. I've never picked a national team. I don't know who Theodore Whitmore picked for the national senior team. Whenever this team is released to the media, that is the first time I see it. Let me just tell all of you that.
Well, this person said that one of my birds told him not to top out Carlston for the whole.
What? Will be out cards. What do you mean out cards in this time?
No, mean top out cards demonstrated in the stands.
Yeah, that's not funny.
All right. But Banningsman, what do you mean White won't play? Suppose the first two keepers get injured.
True.
All right. Yeah, I mean, all right.
Unlikely.
Yeah,
but
I'm saying that when I say it won't, maybe that is it's highly, the probabilities of him playing are very low. All right. That's all I'm saying. Right? The probability. So all I'm saying is that if there are issues of conflict of interest, bring them up. But there must be real issues. All right? Remember, Karim Park, like it don't make any sense. Because again, many people are saying that management, you need to get involved in the football. But if I get involved, you see people going to tell me that there's a conflict of interest.
And you're not have the show.
Yeah, and I'm not supposed to have my show and talk about this. I'm not supposed to have my club, because if I have my club, there's somehow I cannot be ethical enough. I cannot be ethical enough to run my club and still help the national football team.
I would ask them this question. Name me one person who is in the national program that is not from a club or a parish association? Just name me one. Well, sorry, maybe should I say two, because you might can look and find one. All right, continue.
Yeah, but right. So that is my thing. So we need to listen. Do I rate Dennis Taylor? Do I think at this time of his career, Dennis Taylor is ahead of Topi? Yes, right. He's ahead. But if you look at the Premier League games, the last 6 games, who has been the better goalkeeper? And if it is on that merit, is there really a conflict?
And he's 21. Don't forget that. He's 21. All other keepers are near 30 or 30.
Yeah. But yeah, so some of these things we have to have. Should we bring in an international coach after this campaign or use a local coach? Mr. Speed, this is where I agree. I agree. Let me tell you what I think, Mr. Speed. Let me tell you what I'm gonna tell you my honest opinion. I think
One honor before you go there, sir. That word international coach is used wrongly, because an international coach can come from Jamaica. You know?
Okay, that is true. So what he means is as a coach outside of Jamaica. And let me just
the coach don't born in Jamaica. All right. And so Paul Lal is what? Is an international coach?
Okay. Hold on. If you drop Taylor, Haka, and Maps, all right.
Who is Maps? Oh, Maria.
Yeah.
He's not in the squad?
I have nothing to eat if one use 20. I don't understand. Pesa, you have to listen. I'm gonna challenge you to make sure that when what you're saying, you can prove it by you have to set things that you can prove, right? All right, Balakar, me know say because this man come from Trelawney, you want him in the team. So respect. So you understand? But let me say this to you. Let me say this. David Suebi is Mount Pleasant 4th string goalkeeper. Not the first, not the second, not the third. He's the 4th option. And you are saying that a man who just went to the finals and the other goalkeepers in the semifinals should not get called up. But a man who is not the first choice call, that is the Guyanese. You have Shavan, Charles Paul, you have the other guy named Michael, whatever, and then there is Suebi. And that is because Kadeem Davis left. Because he would be
the 5th.
There you go. All right.
Balakar, easy.
Yeah, man. So let us since you said there is no pro license, and so what Roadball TV says, seeing that there is no pro license coach, maybe you should find somebody who is outside. But so let me come back to this point now, Mr. Speed. I think one of the biggest challenges, I think local coaches.
There's one pro license coach on the island, the one at Wally Downs at but Roadball TV will dip on the ball, you know. There's one pro license coach in Jamaica.
All right. But let me say this, though. I tend to agree with this. If we can afford, because I think affordability is an issue.
Yeah.
All right.
But not only that, let me give you some stats.
Yeah.
Every team that win the World Cup, the coach come from that country. No coach has ever coached a World Cup winning team that don't come from the country. Right? That's one fun fact, right? Second, 58% of the teams that qualify for the World Cup, the coach come from the same country that they come from. So those statistics alone tell you, say you must develop your own and go forward. Because there's a lot of things that players don't, that our international coach will know about your local players. They don't know the culture. They don't know who are your all of and who. They don't, them take it at face value because of their environment. I mean, we can't take it at face value our players them. So I'm saying that you need that type of thing, and that is why it works for all the coaches who come from the country to coach national team. I know a prophet is without honor in his own country, but the truth is we need to develop our own and give them the job. Jamaicans are some of the best at everything that they do. We have some of the best coaches in athletics. We're number 1 in sprinting. We can develop some of the best coaches in Jamaica because education standard good. We're very smart. We have the Anansiism in our house. We're clever. Yeah, man, we can do it, man. Let us do it.
All right.
local.
But let me say, maybe Mr. Speed and I are going to differ on this. I think there are coaches. I think we have good coaches. I think you're a good coach. I always tell people, like, for me personally, I've been coached by Wendell Downswell. Big coach.
Yep.
Right?
Legend. 3 World Cup team.
Yeah, I like Maurice Gale, good coach. I think Duki is a good coach. I mean, I could go on and call several names. I think Jerome Waite has a knack for football. Miguel Coley. There are many names out there. But here's what I have an issue with. Like, sometimes I feel like when the coaches are local, there's more pressure, like you said, one. And people perceive a greater conflict in their team selection. Like, I didn't hear some of these things when, like, a Winifred Schaefer, because people are thinking, like, okay, he's not from here, so whatever he's doing.
Well, except same stop pick Jamaicans.
But nobody, that's what I'm saying, and nobody was really complaining. But if a local coach were not to pick local based players, they would come under immense pressure in our circles of football.
Right.
And that
and
is why
our job at the JFF is to develop local talent. You know? Not that we don't want to have foreign talent, but our job is to develop the football on the island. So, you know, and nobody like you about the quota, but the quota is essential for that one.
Right. So my personal thing is that I think there are some stages that you have to get someone from outside to bring that stability, who have no connection to anything, as long as they can do the job, as long as they can get the job done. Because the truth is, the one time we went to the World Cup, it was using a coach from overseas.
All right, stats. I use stats for me. I can't beat that.
Yeah, we have to say that, well, we did it and it worked. This is a proven way. If we have that overseas coach with a good core of local coaches, because you still have Carl Brown in the program and Wendell Downs, you have many people in the program around that time. And I think we need to probably look at that to at least get some stability, develop some of the coaches to the pro license level. And I think this is one thing that the GFF need to do. I am glad that you have in the school, because there are good coaches here that can be developed and taken to the highest level. And I also think some of you guys need to leave Jamaica and go coach in some other jurisdiction.
Right. One of the reasons why people who probably smart and could develop the top coaches don't do it is because of the salary package where you get from coaching here.
In Jamaica,
so,
okay.
Yeah, so that's why some people don't do it. But as soon as all that change and people realize that they can make a really good living from coaching, you'll see some more brighter person gravitating towards it and it will improve.
Yeah. Yeah. So somebody's asking this question. Oh, true management. Bring up Andre Moore. Let me find Andre Moore. Andre Moore comment. So I think for the purpose of stability, I would say work with when the World Cup once and coach was gonna look. Oh, I did. Yeah, I didn't see that, but that's what, yeah.
All right, Andre Moore. Yeah, management, take that one there. Me not fight it because that's true.
Yeah, it is true. So I am not saying that we don't
but
have
believe say, but here the next fact where you realize. So we have all of these coaches that will get and them take away all our money, big salary. I mean, why didn't they leave anything behind? So you can look on that too.
Yeah, and that is the point. Like, I don't want the coach to come here and coach a national team alone. It has to be a whole developmental with local coaches. So it's a whole systematic change. I think for too long, when we bring in the overseas persons, we limit their responsibility to when the national team is called up.
Right. So if we use some of that money and have 10 pro license coach now, you know much better off would have been. That's my point.
Yeah. Man, be sure about it.
You can't beat that neither. You and your friend will just put up the stats.
Balakar, you always saying things, Balakar. And if me answer, you're going to say, like comment on the thing. Balakar. David Swaby is not Mount Pleasant #1 goalkeeper. Balakar. And I can call the team manager.
No, but we don't have to call him. Was he injured this year? And how much game him play now? Because I'm sure the #1 would play in the games.
I mean, I tell was you, he injured? It wasn't the Guyanese goalkeeper keeping, brother.
No, but was he injured? Okay, well,
he
how
wasn't
much
the
game
number
him
one
play?
keeper.
How much game him play?
I don't think he played any game.
Right. So we're not looking
Last
at
season, it was
argument.
Kadeem Davis who was the number one goalkeeper. And the
But
Panamanian goalkeeper who was here. I don't know. All right.
but that's not an argument.
Hey,
Come on.
brother Balakara, drive you. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, an argument.
Yeah. Coach the tools. Somebody saying the principles of football is saying you have to give the coach the tools to succeed. So if him want him players, give him.
True. True.
Okay. All right. Hey, this is a very tricky thing to say though. Because if I give the coach his players, right? How many games do I give you the players? Because I could say in our present system, for at least 4 years or 5 years, you have had players and nothing that at some point, even that we're going to have to make change.
Actually, see, let me make a comment here. In some modern country, actually is a committee pick the squad and then the coach pick the team. Very modern country.
Oh, when they have the top 15 players, management should me ask you this question: why was there no player from Phoenix in the under 15 team when they have the? All right.
Not easy to answer.
No.
Answer or you answer?
I can answer because I have the facts.
Yeah,
there were Phoenix players in the team. In fact, one of the standout players was a Phoenix players. All right. Some of the Phoenix players opted to go on the tour who were at the age to play for the under 15. 2 went, 1 played all the games, and the other one had an ailment or was sick. All right. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes we hear certain things. We have to check the facts because sometimes things are said and that is not the whole thing.
True.
But Mr. Speeder can add to that. I'm not
going
to
add none to it. I just add to say that is true.
Yeah. So the top player for Jamaica in the tournament was a Phoenix player. The top player in the tournament was a Phoenix Academy player. And the other player that went was sick for the tournament.
Right. And I saw the Phoenix team came and played against the national under 15 team in a practice session. So I saw the quality of the players that were on board, and there was nothing unfair to the number of players that were picked to play on the under 15 team. I saw them in action, and there was a comparison. Although I never interfered, I never asked the coach nothing. They just borrow my field and do them thing.
Yeah. Please ask Claudia Hodges. All right, Claudia Hodges. Let me get Claudia. You know, Claudia come to beat you know, because Claudia said anytime I catch Mr. Speed, I get him can't run. So let me find
run, Claudia.
Yes, where is it, Claudia? I tried to find it. Oh, there are so many comments. So
I have got in 15 minutes there.
Yeah, man. It's to be. So, as a member of the diaspora, are you saying my child is going to be a quota?
So, Claudia, yes, we definitely. There's a number of issues at stake here. Let me just give you the issues. One, if your daughter is under 15 player, it's difficult. So you have to send the person for trial here, right? Who send them under 15 girl alone, right? Or if you send them alone, it means that we have to have chaperone for them, security, only, you know, it just, you know, you might ask us to pay for the ticket. I don't know if you'll pay for the ticket, but the cost they have to be here in camps for like a month. So you take them out of schools, you do all sorts of things. The cost to keep those players just mounts daily. So because we are a country that deals with development for locals mainly, because even in diaspora, a lot of your development could take place in that structure that they have up here, the play, etc. So imagine you have under 15 competition, under 13 competition in all the parishes, and then when you finish, you don't pick any of those players to represent the national team. Eventually, you'll have nobody playing. So we have a dilemma. There's a parish association that is deal with amateur football and development at a young age. So we have a dilemma. So what we have done at certain stages to say, yes, we're going at this stage. We're about 50-50, where we say, we kind of want 50% local and 50% overseas. I don't see anything wrong with that. So if your child is better than if ever bet can make the 50% from overseas, it's fine. But we can have children in Jamaica and don't give none of those kids the opportunity to represent the country at all. Of course, when we reach a senior national team, there's no quota. But before that, yes, we have quota for every age group. And we're not apologizing for it neither, Claudia. That's how it is. That's how it's gonna be. It's not going to change. And I'm just going to say to you again, it's the same thing with every football team in the world at that age. They have mostly players from the country that the federation is based, and then they had some. If you find one that don't do that, just point it out to me. I'd like to see them.
All right. Management in 2017, 44 new Jamaicans were sworn in from 17 different countries. Were any of these new Jamaicans taking opportunities from locals? Why is football different? All right, I think sometimes, and I try to bring balance. So I hear what Mr. Speed says. All right, so let me see if I can. So at the senior level, remember, I kind of. This is so funny because the game you played against Panama. Let me ask you this, people. Let's think about it. What was the quota system for the Panama game?
At the senior level?
Yeah, man, the senior level. What was the quota system?
There's no quota in the senior team.
All right, so let's get that out of the way. There's no quota system at the national team, senior team. All right, on the female team, all right, there's never been a quota system.
Not best for the senior team.
For the senior team. Same thing. Listen, a lot of our under 23 females play. Some of them are most of them were overseas. All right. So let's come down to under 17 and under 15. Until somebody can say to me that this person at under 15 is better than this Jamaican, and they didn't call him because of a quota system, then it is an issue. Because the truth is, from what I know, because I can go back from the time of Miami Classics and those things, when you used to have under 12 going to Miami Classics from Jamaica to play football. From those times, if a family had a child overseas, they would come to Jamaica and try out. And if they are better than what is here, they would normally play. What I say, Mr. Speed, is that when people hear quota, here's what comes to their mind. That if you say 5 and number 6 is way better, because you say 5, you're still not going to play number 6. And that is what the people have an issue with, right? And I don't think that is what you mean. I think you can correct me, but I am thinking like, if you already have 5 people going to the under 15 tournament, and I have my son who is an American citizen, and I say, listen, I know that my son can make this team, but you already have your 5, and I say, bring him to your trial, and I bring him to Jamaica to play. What the people want to know is that because you have your 5, my son, you have your 5, you select them already, and you said you were only taking 5 because it is 25, and you have your 20 Jamaica. But my son is the next Messi. You understand that? No, you are going to say this son cannot play for Jamaica because he already.
No.
So that is what I think.
No man drop out one of the 5 and make 4 and they make back 5. Not possible.
What they are saying is that
you might drop out one of the first 5. Pick him. Listen, there's no hard and fast rule. Look, we have done it before. Under 17, we carry more girls from overseas than locally. But people, don't fool yourself for 1 minute. We must develop our local talent. That is our job. And one part of development is make them play national football. Don't fool yourself.
No, man. Right? So I wasn't using an example. Watch me. I'm not using. Yeah, man.
I have something for them.
Remember, I am not making an example. I'm trying to show what I'm trying to explain to the people is this. It's very simple. Is that I understand Mr. Speed position, and like some of you, I'm very challenged by it. But at the same time, I believe people that if the talent is better, most times from what I have seen from experience, the talent is chosen. I
But
don't
look
know.
here. But
Like
look here.
I don't know,
Look
Mr.
here.
Speed.
Look here. Hold on. No. But I'm saying there's a lot of time we waiver the position, but people have to have rules. But we waiver the position a lot of times. And as I said, the last under 17 team we pick, there was more people on it from overseas than locally. But there is a rule. But there was more people on it because if we find that that is the best chance we have, we're going to use it. We understand the thing. But don't forget the other factors like money and time, and if you put a good unit together where they train together, you know, is an issue for us.
Yeah. Yeah, people, Mr. Speed have to leave, and we have around we have a few minutes before we close because we're closing.
Go on with the question quick now. Maybe come here.
Okay. Until they leave. All right, so let me just enter that right there.
Go 5 minutes or something.
5 minutes. If Sports Frenzy is asking if there are 6 overseas or more players that are better than
we talk about that at the Sports Frenzy.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I think development in the academy and clubs, not the national team.
That's a part of the progression. Bala. Owen. That's a part of the progression. You train, academy, club, international competition. What you see, one of the reasons why you see the Cavalier team, some of them play like this. They go to Cayman, they go to Mexico, they go to Sweden. They have international experience. It's very important for the part of development. You can't get a professional player who don't play national team. I mean, it's almost impossible if you have a person to come through the ranks and become a professional and don't play on the national team and get that higher level of training. Impossible. Or international exposure.
All right. I have Jay Taylor. I think he has a question. Jay Taylor, welcome to the street.
Can you hear me? Yeah, I want to ask. I just have a quick question for Mr. Speed.
Mr. Speed, this is a lawyer here.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was appointed without any reference.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. I wanted to ask Mr. Speed, since Tapa stated in his interview that he's not really coaching, he's managing. So going forward, should we just look for a manager instead of a coach? Because it seems like the football landscape, international landscape, is changing to us where we don't need coaches anymore.
Listen, clubs are different from national teams, right? Very different. In some clubs, you could just buy what you want to fit whatever system you have. For national teams, a lot of times you have to just play with what the nation has. So, yeah, I would have thought that you need some coaching. I would have thought that you need some managing. Both of them essential, and you need other things too. So, no, I wouldn't suggest that we want to look for managers alone because it is essential. I mean, different players have different needs. I learned that for team building, sometimes you have to be different things. So, I don't want to say too much because I don't know what you meant, but that's my.
You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to elaborate. One final question, Manis, because this is one is important as well. This is concerning the youth teams. As when I was on your show last time, Manis, they asked me which team in the Premier League I'm supporting, and I said Cavaliers because they look the most organized. They look the most organized. Hence, they won the league. Seems like I'm onto something. What I want to ask you, Mr. Speed, is because I think a person like you would be very important at the youth level for us, especially getting this level of organization that we see with your club in the JPL. What's hindering you? Is that the international football doesn't excite you as much, or because I think a person like you would be very well needed at that lower level?
It does excite me, and I want to do it, but I was asked by the federation to either coach a national team or to become the chairman of the technical and development committee. I chose the technical and development committee because I thought it would have a wider influence than just coaching one team, and that is why I chose. So it was my choice really. What I really want before is really one of my dreams to coach a national team. Yeah.
And if you're going to coach a national team, please make sure it's the under 17s. I think the under 17s are the most important in any football, in any country's football. I think that's the turning point, and I think that's where we end up losing a lot of players. Right after
You're
that, under
100.
17.
You're 100% correct. In Cavalier, I coach the under 17 team too, and that's where I choose the players from to represent the senior team, not the under 20.
Yes,
You're
yes.
correct.
All right, JT, let me just take this. Mr.
Yeah,
Speed,
man.
this is very important. And that's all. And it says, I was born in England, and just before my 15th birthday, I was invited to trials for England under 15. I didn't go. I had no interest in playing for England. I wanted to play for Jamaica. But were you? Is it that you wanted to, but you were never called, or because I mean, I suspect that you are probably in your 20s now, which was over 10 years ago. Because so I just want to know if this
You
means that
notice you notice the past tense. This in the
right.
sentence.
So I'm wondering if it is that you made yourself available and no one didn't call you. Are you alluding to this may have been a quote? Because I don't like I said, like
No, that's
Yeah.
not a quota. That you don't have anything to do with quota.
Okay.
You know, remember, in the past, we never saw universal like now, where it was easy to get in touch with people, get in touch with their videos, your video thing and all that. So you could said you wanted to come to play for Jamaica under 15 at the time, and people were saying, well, oh, you're going to reach, who's going to come with you, who's going to take care of all of those expenses, because I'm sure you have to come with a chaperone. So it's kind of like a bit difficult in that time. I figure now it's easier. I'm sorry, Wunun, that we never pick up on your talent and get you across. But as I say, those are different times. Now we're looking at the football different, and if you find that type of quality, just as I say, send them to Wendell Dunwell, Ramon Thomas, Roy Simpson, or Dalton, and we'll get the information.
Listen, here's what I'm going to challenge the people to do. You see, anybody you know at this level want to play for Jamaica, talk to me. And we make the link.
All right.
Contact me, and we will get it. And then we can come on, because you see, if them of the under 15, under 17, under 20, and the players they don't get called up or we know them better, then we can come back now and challenge Mr. Speed and say,
Right.
here are the names, we did this and this never happened. But somebody's asking what type of coaching qualification.
He has a A license. I think it's from the USA, but he has a A license.
That's a higher license than the B license we have,
Yes.
or is it equivalent?
Well, it's higher because it's not the
Afternoon,
license.
Mr. Speed. Oh, sorry.
Good afternoon.
Hold on,
Afternoon, Mr.
Balakar.
Speed.
Hold on,
Good afternoon.
Balakar. Hold on a second,
Yeah.
Balakar. Let
Yeah,
him
man.
answer the question.
The licensing, like a C license, like amateur introductory, right? Grassroots. A B license, what they teach is really elite youths
Yeah.
and top amateur clubs for a B license. For A license, that is where you go to semi-pro, and then for a pro license, where the pros are. So what the courses are all different. So like a B license, they teach you how to really coach properly. They teach you the rudiments of the game, how to play in the 4 phases, that sort of thing. A license teaches how to counteract everything that a B license coach knows. So that's how they kind of set up the courses. So anybody who do a license would have gone through what a B license person do on a C license, and then the pro license when you're really pro psychology, you focus on the coach, you focus on certain other things. So that's kind of how the hierarchy goes. So you might do a license in England, you do a license in USA, a license in South America. It's basically the same A license you do, except that some people better than some at teaching things.
Right. So I know that there are players that I am recommending, and I have recommended both on the male and the female side who have gotten into the team, especially out of North America. So you can always hit me on Instagram and I'll do the work. But Wun did say that he didn't know how to, which is where now, Mr. Speed, you need to get some beat now, because
Which is what I was saying. But I tell you on the channel already who you must call. You can't say me.
No, man, I said going ahead, there should be.
But I give you 4 names.
No, man. So follow me now. I am saying that at the GFF level, maybe you guys need to look at setting up something on your site that persons from overseas who I may not know, may not watch the show, have a direct link to the GFF to put this information.
If you really want to know, now is just too much communication. If you really want to do anything now, you
You
can
give me
find
the
it. It's easy.
Okay. All right.
But Mannings and Mr. Speed, I think one of the key things going forward that the JFL will have to get right. I don't know who's. I hope there's some kind of there's a changing of the guard and some people get shuffled around because we can't have these little hiccups when it's
Not
competition
around.
time.
Some people need to be shuffled, not just around, but off the
Yeah,
table. You
going
understand?
forward, I think there should be an area in the GFF that's focused on the diaspora. If it's either funding, is sourcing players, it's like it's where people from the diaspora can feel like they're contributing and they're being heard, and there's a way where they can track also their donations. Where it's just 'cause, money miss up a Jamaica easy, and that's the fear of a lot of people.
They feel that.
You know,
Stop selling things and
no,
bread.
even my family member, Mr. Speed, they send money and them say money drop out of them pocket in the Western Union. So you know how that goes. That's Jamaica. We have to live with that. You might say stand up at the line and if I turn around the pocket of hole. So I have to just live with
Yeah, that story sounds fishy because why I'm in the line still after and collect the money. I don't know.
They had that story in Jamaica. But as I'm saying, I think there's I learned this because I understand that. I think going forward, the person who taps into the diaspora will have the biggest support in the GFF. I think this GFF, they under evaluate the power of the diaspora. Even just on YouTube here, if everyone on YouTube put in a $50, you know how much money that would have been to and people were willing to do that. I would have done that, but I'm not gonna just put $50 in the cloud. You don't know where it's going, who's in charge. We don't even know who is in charge. We know the figureheads that we see on television, but we don't really know the inner runnings, and I think that's where the breakdown is coming from with the diaspora. And I would hope there's more focus on that going forward.
Yeah, man. All right.
Well,
Thank
say
you,
something
JT
to
Love.
speed before I left.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Come in, Balak. This is
Balakar.
Balakar who believe that David Sebi supposed to be in the national team. Go ahead, Balakar.
Balakar,
You're
you're
muted,
mute, you're
Balakar.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, Mr. Speed.
Yes, Bala.
Big up for your win in the league. You see me?
Respect.
But overall, I top me. I want to say top it. And your team in the box still in Mount Pleasant, but
No,
glad
man.
to see top it. I'm glad to see top you forward back in a football thing.
Yeah.
And we know saying they play no ball and thing. You see me?
Mm-hmm.
Back to you now, man.
Mm-hmm.
Me have
Me I take
100
that
that,
Balak.
hold on, man. Me have 100 US lose. David Swaby, a Mount Pleasant #1 this year, and injuring hip, and then come back and injuring finger. Remember that. Coach,
Well, me not
Willie
bet you,
Downs
because
come
me
and
don't know
talk
nothing
about
about.
that. When him injure,
But-
Willie Downs come and say missing #1. Try remember that man is man. And when time Vargas sit there, and Vargas a give a game them. If fans them out of Jackson, me come and match and them cuss and say Vargas they come out. David Swaby gonna keep 7 matches straight and only concede 1 goal. You see me? So this year, him at the Mount Pleasant #1 and then him injured. So the overseas keeper are the second string and the Portmore keeper will come couldn't go into the squad.
Balakar, me not bet you, because you must know your thing. But when me know of Sebi, he's a good keeper.
Mr. Speed,
He's a
hold on,
good
Mr.
decent.
Hold on, Mr. Speed. People, any you want 100 US?
Pick up that you.
Balakar.
Let me finish first. Let me finish first. Me say, this season, David Swaby was Mount Pleasant #1. So, me want 100 US. Give somebody that. We have to lose.
All right,
Sure
hold on. People.
Hey.
So, Mount Pleasant #1 goalkeeper was a Guyanese. When the league started, the Guyanese goalkeeper was playing Nations League for Guyana. So he was not here. Hold on, man. He came to Jamaica after the second match in the Gold Cup. Last season, Kadeem Davis was Mount Pleasant #1 goalkeeper. The #2 goalkeeper was the Panamanian. All right. So anybody
Which
want
Panamanian? Vargas.
Hold on, man. I know one pan again. Hold on, sir. Here's the thing, people. I'm going to call Mr. David Galloway. And
You know, we cannot deal with who
then
a goalkeeper coach. Who a goalkeeper
brother,
coach.
me a part of Mount Pleasant, you going to tell me? How you going to
No,
tell me?
but me the ask you.
Loxley Reed is a goalkeeper coach.
Okay. So why you don't tell me, Mr. David Serbia did Mount Pleasant #1 this year?
So, Balakar, we not going to have the Balakar, me go down with the argument and leave it, right? Here's the thing, people.
Right, Balakar, big up yourself. Man.
Big up yourself, Balakar, because we're going to call David Galloway and we're going to call the Mount Pleasant coach and talk to them.
So,
and then,
man, I feel if you know.
Yeah, man. All right, Mr. Speed.
Big up yourself, Mr. Speed.
Yeah, man, respect. Just that, I mean, all you know, yeah, about people.
Jay Taylor, big up yourself too.
Yeah, man.
All right, respect Balakar.
Yeah, Jay Taylor and everybody.
No,
but just saying that, me thank everybody, thank all our sponsors and our supporters, you know, for supporting over the season. All the callers and people who type in here, who support Cavalier over the season, we just have to say thank you to them. And don't believe so we're done, you know. We just have to start, you know. We'll do better things next year, all right? Cool.
But Mr. Speed, before you leave, we just want to know, is there anything in the pipeline as far as transformation of the league next year, as like based on what you've learned this year? I know there was a lot of challenges, but is there anything that you're thinking about to make the league better?
Well, the biggest one is that will be an instat next year, so instantly you can see all of the stats on the players. You remember we talk about that, so that is one of the big things that will happen next year. We're sure about that. We started a little trial with it, you know, in the final, I think it's semi-final and final. So Instat TV, the matches will be there live, you can see it all over the world, and then you'll get all of the stats from it, so coaches overseas can evaluate the players for themselves.
Yes, and when you start your campaign, when you start your campaign for presidents, please let us know on YouTube so we can rally the troops, because you came on here and no. When Mr. Speed used to be, remember no. Well, and Alex, Mr. Speed used to be a person where we used to give a lot of flack, but he actually faced the bullet and come on management show and talk to the fans, and I think that's one of the biggest breakdown. Nobody's talking to the fans, so it's a lot of speculation. So no respect, Mr. Speed.
Yeah, man.
All right, just take one question from Alex.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You make a point earlier, said Mr. Schaefer and the boss, local baller, Jamaican baller. In boss Andrew Vans in a Chile game, that's one. And in boss more than one local band players before him bringing.
I didn't say that, though. I didn't say that. I didn't say no boss no baller. I say never believe in the local ballers. That's a different argument.
So yeah, but all you believe in the Kemar Taxi Lawrence, because Kemar Taxi was playing persistent in his team, Mr. Speed.
No, but he might have played a few. Remember, so as soon as he left, right? As soon as he left, we just.
Oh, you're frozen, Mr. Oh, Alex, you come cause bad connection, you know, Alex.
No, because the question, I asked a good question. He said the man don't believe in the local ball. We want to know.
Alex, here's the challenge. The man never used that word, you know. You have to use the correct word. You see, sometimes we interchange words and change what has been said. You understand me? So if you use the word, it's about believing in them. But he did speak to that, you know. Because the truth is, Mr. Schaefer did speak to the fact that he prefers using players who are playing overseas. He said that several times. But that wasn't the point, though. I think to be fair to Mr. Speed, I don't think that was the point he was making when he made that statement still. But
but saying no one the overseas coach, because overseas coach don't know the players on the ground, and overseas coach are much conflict when picking the team management, because when I see you link the overseas the local coach and say you my baller from you coming inside my baller from this coming.
Yeah, but I did address that. I believe that an overseas coach would do better because there's less conflict of interest. But one of the issues with the overseas coach is that I don't want a person from overseas to come and just be the senior coach. I want somebody who's going to transform football from the junior level all the way up, which I think René Simoes was actually was actually doing in terms of the under 15, under 17, and that is why we had an under 17 team going to the World Cup. That is why we had a under 20 team going to the World Cup, because Simoes did an entire transformation. What I think happened with that Schaefer and some of the other coaches is that they were just hired to coach the national team, and I don't agree with that. You can't just come run a national team. You have to come to develop Jamaica's football if you're going to come in with your international expertise and experience. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, Alex, but that is my one. And Jay Taylor.
Yeah, man. Just like Canada coach, he's the technical director. Also, he's the one that runs all the make sure that all of the Canada under 17, under 20 players go right up through the ranks, so he can help them.
And we want to say sorry to One for not getting that call up for the Jamaica under 15. The positives is at least you have the luxury of sitting at home on your couch watching the games where you don't get injured. So better luck next time. A lot of us had hopes for that. Even you had some hope to play for Jamaica one time, right, Manid?
Yeah, well, I mean, I played at I get called up, but they never pick me at the squad because you see me?
What position you play?
At that time I played forward because I was very speedy, but in my latter stage of my career, they put me at wing back because of my ability to use both legs, and I was very good at squaring the ball and very speedy. But I got called to the squad and
But Manning, you never know the thing that they say in football. Anytime you play striker or midfield and a coach put you at on the flank or any right back or left back, your career done. your career done.
Maybe that was a cue, and I never got it until I got older. Yeah. You know that is the man who never rate me. Them say, nah, forward is that for you. And
But it's a nice way of saying you can still play, but you're not good enough.
I think one of the reasons why I want to get involved in the football is for some of this, right? Which is I want to be involved at the level where One son or Claudia's son or Jera's son don't have to go through what One went through. In other words, there's a clear pathway for a youth at 13 who lives in England, who lives in Denmark, who lives in Sweden, who says, my father is Jamaican, I want to play for Jamaica. That there's a clear pathway for that person to reach out and connect with the Jamaica Football Federation, whomever the president is, and represent Jamaica at the youth level if they so desire. It should not be a struggle, and that is something that I'm willing to work to help change, because we could be missing out on a lot of talented youngsters.
Yes, there's even two youngsters right now at FC Copenhagen. They're 12 years old. It's my friend Ian Thompson. Both his sons, they just got called into the FC Copenhagen youth teams, and these kids are playing. And I talked to him about them potentially playing for Jamaica. So, but this is one of the challenges, man. I tell people, when people say, "Why don't we call up this player and call up this player?" They're not taking into consideration that some parents see their kids as an investment. And it's like, do they want to send their investment to Jamaica? You have to think about that, because they're thinking of the player playing here and getting, more money or getting them out of poverty. So we always have to keep those things in consideration.
That is true. That's true. That where is it more financially prudent for the child to play his football? That is true. That is true. But Westland, I played several years, man. I'll give you some of the persons who are at Manning's. Dean folks, they call him Party. Those players. You had players like Julius was goalkeeper. You have Craigie Heath. You had players like Sandokan. I played like Patrick Graham. I mean, he and I played for Westmoreland at under 12. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, but many of those players say it was during that era, but when I went there, he had like Hector Linton was in his final years, though he didn't play. Aldean Blacker Bailey was there in those times, but they were ahead of me. At Manny's Dean Segree, you understand me?
You didn't
Yeah.
start at Mannings, man. A tough
Yeah.
school that we started, though.
Mannings, yeah, man. Mannings. I started out at Mannings, and then I went to C-Bar, registered and everything, but it was a little difficult in terms of transitioning from a co-ed school to all boys.
Yeah,
So
man,
I
not
kind
the
of
all boys school thing. No, all boys school.
yeah,
Too
I
many,
made
too
I
many
made a
guys.
quick pivot.
Yeah, too many boys. Too many boys
Yeah.
in those schools.
Yeah, man. I know Dwayne Carr, man. Dwayne Carr was way after me. Big goalkeeper from Mannings that took us, I think, to the semifinals with Giant and the rest of those guys, and Father and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Westland, your time. Yeah. So when you go to Mannings, you can ask them about Stennett. That's what they used to call me them time. They understand me. Good looking footballer. I
And
understand.
the maestro.
Yeah, but I moved back to Kingston, I think. Yeah. But anything else? But I like what you're saying, though, J. Taylor. But persons like us need to say to some of the people, like, here's the thing. I mean, like your friend two sons. If you have a desire to represent Jamaica, at least try out. Here is what you need to do. Fill out this. You understand me? There should be an easy way. We can't make the process difficult. That is all I'm saying. The process.
Yeah. That's where it comes in,
Yeah.
man. Is with the diaspora thing, where there should be, as you said, an area that's designated to the diaspora and sourcing all this information, making things accessible for people. It's all over the place. You're trying to get in the team now. You have to contact management. Management have to contact another person. And then you know what I mean? It's a lot of pieces where it shouldn't be. And for me personally, I told him no is not the time to actually get his sons involved in Jamaican football. I think he should. I told him let them ride out this wave, and we can get back on some kind of stable footing, because we don't even have any idea where the youth football is right now. We just saw them popped up and playing a
The under
competition
15
later.
tournament. There you go.
Yeah, we didn't know. We don't know who are these kids. We don't know who are they. What's happening? What happened to them after that? that's the thing.
Yep. Yeah, man. Yes, Westland. So I know Ninja and Daddy Rai and all of them people there. Don't worry yourself, man. Me a baller, man. And you remember Little D and them, man, they used to play ball. Don't worry yourself. Me a baller. Me do anything, you know. But I know that. Yeah. But that's it. And I do listen. So I have a couple of footballers who play in the States that I want them to get involved in the youth team here in Jamaica. I've done that before. And I'll call like the person who is in charge and say, listen, I have this footballer, and I've never had any resistance. But the truth is that not every parent knows that information or have the information I have. You don't if you weren't on this platform,
I would know that. I would know
exactly
that.
my point. One would not know that. And so many persons overseas would not know that, especially the ones who have left Jamaica in their childhood. If you weren't involved in football in Jamaica, you left Jamaica and you're overseas, who are you going to talk back to in Jamaica unless you have relatives here that are involved in football to know what to do and how to do it? And this is where I think now, like I said, it is important that the JFF put measures in place, that things are easy. It should not be a difficult thing for a Jamaican living in Chile to play for Jamaica, living in China to play for Jamaica. I don't know if people know this. There's a growing Jamaican population in Japan because many went over there to teach.
Yes.
To teach English. They're over there now.
Yeah, I know at least 20 Jamaicans in Japan currently.
Yeah. That child over there should know. All right, I want to play for Jamaica. That's what I need to type in. I'm gonna go on this site. I put in all of this information, and by next week I get back a response, and follow-up starts. Until that happens, many are going to fall through the cracks.
Yes.
Yeah.
So were you, Mannings? Were you, I would say no. Were you pleased with the turnout of the JPL this season?
In terms of I think it is
overall.
Better than, to me it is better than previous season. There was less aggressive play in the league. I mean, there were times when I used to say to my sons, like, listen, you not playing no football in Jamaica, brethren. because I knew what that was like. I think Dr. St. Lucian, who was on earlier, spoke to that. But I've seen, that has changed. The quality is improving. I think the surface added to that. So I think it's going to get better going into next season. It is not where it ought to be. It's not where it ought to be, but it is better than what I've seen in the last previous seasons.
And
I
manage.
think, yeah.
Oh, go ahead. So, go ahead.
Yeah, and if they can add spectators, because sometimes when there are spectators, it brings out even more out of players. I think the lack of spectators may have affected some players who get their high from having spectators in the venues. So
I'm giving you a little tip, man. And this is very small. This is very, very small. It might seem like nothing to you. I don't know if I don't know who you can talk to tell them to make sure they damp the surface before the game. It speeds. Like I spoke to a coach at Brandby, and I told you, might have told you this story before, and I asked, I said, why you guys always wet the pitch and it's not even, it's not raining or anything. He says it's to get the game to go faster and have the ball move on the surface more consistent. That's why a lot of our players, they look so slow and behind the ball when they up another level. So if they could find a way to damp the surface so the football can move, because the turf has a drawback, the ball drops in the turf and stays there. It drops and stays there. So if the surface is wet, the ball will move on the surface, and you will see more like exciting type of play.
I agree. They actually wet the surface. They have a sprinkler up there, but guess what? They wet it because why they wet it? It's too hot, but it doesn't work. But I agree with you. They have to do that. But I am also hoping, Jay Taylor, that they can take some of the games to other surfaces, because, like, we need some of the football being played in the National Stadium, at Catherine Hall, and at the Stadium East. Why? Because I think every week on the artificial surface,
it doesn't help football to me. It looks more organized and it looks more neat and stuff. But my experience of playing, and over time, they've I don't know if there's some research on that players who play a lot on these artificial surface tend to develop knee problems, as to the shock of when you're I know they design it in a certain way, but you're constantly shocking your knee when landing on that kind of surface, if the surface is not completely balanced. So here they tend to only train. A lot of teams sometimes train in the winter because they don't want to mess up on the grass.
There you go. That's it. Because that's what I want to see change, because that surface can't be good. But I'm going to listen. People have been on so long. Some of you are going to remember where we started. We started out with Ethan Pinnock, Liam Moore being out, and that Jamai Topi has been brought in, and Cavalier's goalkeeper, Jaden White, has been brought into the team. And we discussed the ticketing, how you're going to have to, once the tickets come out, I think by the end of today, it's going to be online, and how to access them it's a little tough in terms of the process, because you're going to have to send in your vaccination information to get back to the JFF so you can be approved. So just listen out on the news. If not, tomorrow I'll give you an update in a video. Now, I've been on for 3 hours and 13 minutes for a video that should have been 1 hour.
I have a question for you, Martins, before you leave.
Go ahead.
I wanted to ask you about the player, Topi.
Yeah.
Watching him play, I see a lot of people are excited about him. To me, though, there are points in the game where he has that Michael Hector potential to do something where only God knows what he's doing. I've seen him took the ball in defense and beat 2 players, and he just stood over the ball, and they came and they pushed him, and he fell, and I think the ref just went over him and said, like, get up, So is it a thing that he loses focus throughout the game? Because I noticed he did that in about 2 or 3 games where he's he has the physical ability, but sometimes I feel like his concentration breaks down. I don't know. Can you explain it to me a little bit better?
Like for me, all right. So remember now, what happened is the choices were Ajani Talbot and King, Richard King. I think Ajani Talbot is in Turkey. I think he's in a Portuguese third tier. I don't think the club, it would be wise. He's on a 6-month loan. So I just 3-month loan up until December. Would you ask him to leave when he's trying to secure that move? Which will only leave now Richard King. Richard King, like Mr. Speed said, he doesn't have a visa. Topi has a visa. It's a late call up. So the process to get the visa would probably mean that he's the one. I agree with you that there are some weaknesses in his game. And also that he wasn't playing for almost a year on other football. And he just came back into the league. So he doesn't look to me like he's 100% fit, which could be part of the problem. But I've always felt like he's one of those youngsters that we need to keep in the national setup. From the time when they went to that under-20 tournament with McGee and all of those guys, and they did very well. He should be in the national setup, but I think he is
I don't know.
He's unfit, and that is affecting his
I thought it was more of a mental thing, Mannings. When I looked at him, because he has all the physical attributes, I think it's more mental, and I think it's not just him. A lot of players. I wish I could have told Mr. Speed that he made the best substitution in the entire tournament this season by bringing on the youngster to come on and get that goal. And that's what we've been preaching on YouTube, that top, and we just need him to make the right substitution at the right time.
Yeah. Listen, big up. Listen, JTL, thanks for coming on. You're Roadball TV now?
No.
Oh, Roadball TV, big up. Listen, the man who's Flow King. It's Flow King. Let me just say this. People, when you see me come up to the screen, it's because I don't see so well. So it's hard to see the small print. But big up JTL. JTL is always over there with IMAXI TV. You can check them out. We have Sports Frenzy in the house. That's Levon and Josh Carl. Please check them out. Coach Minzy was also here at the coach's desk. Big up Coach Minzy. Thanks for the support. You had like Military Guna. You had we have OGs. My brethren Ryan LFC. You understand me? Big him up as well. So check them out, people. Somebody's asking me if I'm older than Blacker Bailey. No, sir. When Blacker Bailey was in around 4th form, I was in 1st form. And when he was in 5th form, I could have been in 1st form, and I was playing football. If you go down there, man, and ask about me, a lot of people going to remember. Trust me, most people in Mannings know me. If not all, because of you understand me? Just mention my surname, man, and them say, yeah, man. The little baller, you understand me? But we don't like to talk about that. But big up JTL. Where the people can see you, JTL, why, and when they can see you, just tell them that.
I've been. It's football. Is the marathon starts now? We're 4 days away, so this is where we get no sleep. Team no sleep until Jamaica decides how they want to perform. Mannings, I never seen anyone put you on the spot. I want to put you on the spot right now. What's your outlook on this Jamaica United States game?
I will drink some fluid for the one.
Yeah.
See, the fluid is red. I foresee danger.
So you don't think Jamaica can get a result from this game?
I see danger. Anything is possible, Anything is possible. But listen. Anything is possible. All right, on the spot. We could get a result.
Wait, let me make it easier for Mannings, guys, because you can see that he's just a few words short of saying, I love my team, but they will lose. I want to say, Manning, how much points can you see Jamaica getting from these 3 games? Worst case scenario for you and best case scenario.
One our
three
fresh
games.
gun. Somebody help me out in the comment section. Right now, listen. Worst case scenario, 4 points. Anything less than 4 points, problem there. All right. The best accumulate in terms of total points for this game is I see 5 points. If somehow we can pull off a draw against the US, beat. I think it also depends on how Honduras game goes. If Honduras, like I could give you, I could see us drawing against the USA. We always give them a good run. Even in the Gold Cup when we weren't looking good, the game was close in terms of the score line, but not in terms of the play. So somehow we seem to always be able to hold the US out, and then we end up conceding some crazy goal. So I think with the additional players, I think if Mikel Antonio has an excellent game, right, and we keep defending well, we could pose serious problems. So if two players, if Tyreek McGee has 3 stellar performances and Mikel Antonio stands out, and say like a Shamar Nicholson creates a lot of problems, we could see 7 points. That is my expectation. Listen, I want us to qualify, and here's why, Jay Taylor. You see, if Jamaica don't qualify, the financial implications on our football.
It's detrimental. It's gonna be
yes,
crazy.
and for the sake of some 15 and 16 and 17-year-old, I want us to do well. But I started out with high hopes.
You said something, Mannings, but it only takes 3 passes for Tyreek McGee to have a stellar game. One turn in the middle and get it off to taxi for the crossing. What I want to say to you as well, because I feel like Jamaica is going to a live research here, Mannings. I want to ask you, do you think it would be a good idea to have Shamar Nichols on the pitch with another UK striker since, just hear me out, since he happens to, whenever he's on the pitch, he's getting opportunities. But when the English players are on the pitch, it seems like we can't get any opportunity. So you think we should kind of start him, and then when we switch him out when we think one opportunity will go his way?
All right, so you see, if the coach can find a way to play Shamar Nicholson and Mikel Antonio in the same team, like probably a 2 forward setting, and they play like one behind the other, that could work. I could see that happening, because I think it would be hard, given Shamar's form, to kind of bench him, but it's also going to be hard to bench Mikel Antonio. So if you can facilitate both of them without messing up the balance of the team, I think that would be good. All right. But like I said, listen, we have to hope, we have to believe. This week I decide that I am not going to do anything negative, until after the game. I'm going to leave all my negative thoughts and comments.
Source all your negative
I
energy.
don't want to be bad energy. I don't want to say anything that would make the players feel like we don't trust them. I'm going to, as best as possible, maintain a posture of support for the team all the way up to the game.
Mannings, I want to ask, because I'm the bearer of bad news, and I kind of taken on that role, and I enjoy it somewhat. I'm not sad that Ethan Pinnock and Liam Moore won't be there, because my problem is I still think we should start 75% at the team that we started in Costa Rica, including the defense. I think if we end up changing the whole entire thing again, we're back at the National Stadium versus Panama. So
but most people agree that Andre Blake must be in goal. Most people agree that Damian Lowe must start. Most people agree that Devon Williams must start. Most people agree that Kemar Lawrence must start. Alvas Powell must start. I mean, that's 5. Most people agree that Tyreek McGee must start. So that's 6 players. So who are you going to bring in? I mean, most people also agree that Shamar must start. So that's 7. Anthony Grant won't play, so you bring in somebody for him. All right. They are saying that replace Fleming because Fleming started. You bring in somebody for him. you could start. You're gonna have to start Mariappa now. So Mariappa is
I'm
there.
happy you're gonna
Yeah.
start Mariappa.
Yeah,
That's what I wanted.
So the truth is that the team is going to be the same. Liam Moore. Listen, I don't know who says if Daniel Johnson is coming. That is just something that just broke. Liam Moore there is a possibility that he may play in the second
Manning,
game.
Daniel Johnson is out?
Yes.
Daniel Johnson?
Up to around 1 o'clock today, Jamaican time. So maybe that has changed in the last couple of hours, which is possible.
Daniel Johnson. Whoa. Is there an injury problem or? Because we're screwed then again in the midfield. Yeah. Well, who would you stick in the midfield then?
You're right. You're sticking in the midfield. Listen,
so Haka will be starting.
Listen, Jay Taylor, we are not going to have that conversation because I'm trying to keep positive. And if I go there, so be able to go up on a negative. And I want to stay positive. You hear, my friend?
All right. Let's stay positive.
But let's stay positive. Please, people, please. I mean, let me tell you, I want you, right? Thank you for all the support. But I'm not the only one in this. And many persons who came and supported my channel, they saw me on other person's channel and they left that channel and said, listen, let's support Mannings, and now they have gone. So it's because it's just a subscribe. So there are some persons who are in this that I want you to do the same. If you're watching this now, check out Sports Frenzy. Subscribe to them. Coach's Desk, if you have not, check them out, subscribe. You have Ryan LFC, subscribe. Check it out, man, and subscribe, right? You have the Military Guna. You have all of these. Please, just show them your love. It was Simon Preston at Reggae Boyz commentary, very credible. He was the first one to break news that Ethan Pino could not be here. Check out his channel and subscribe. Listen, let's create a family. We don't have to be fighting, and you understand me? It's not about that. It's about helping each other, so that when people talk about YouTube and it's the YouTube vloggers talking about sports and they speak to us as a block, they can say, listen, they all stick together. All right, so show some support to all of the other channel persons out there, because I really, really want it to be that way. All right. Listen, I want to thank you. So many of you stayed onto this thing. It should not have been so long. Thanks to every single person who came on. Really, really appreciate it. Appreciate you. If we get more information from the birds this evening, we will drop it in the morning. All right. Yeah, man, we're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers. So come on. See my son coming right here now. He's supposed to go to the barber to get a miracle because he have to go into school. Yeah, kind of shy. You understand me? That's him right here. That's the youngest one. So, but bless up and big up people. Hey, you want to come and show your face too? All right. So this is the next one. Yeah, man. All right. So, yeah, they challenge me to take them to the barber. But bless up people. Really love and respect you all. And again, if I get any information, I'll share it with you in the morning. Before you leave, please like the video if you have not done so yet, and subscribe to the channel. Please stay safe. All right? I'll get you the ticket information as soon as it is available. Blessings, one and all.
Yo, watch about dog, SK New Erdis, the body out there, Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocho-Race, Galtigo Bay, everywhere. I Am Sure Sports, check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like, yeah, someone known for the food from young, from where they need height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.